so far, what's been going on, really, what we've been learning is the schemes and terrible attempts of Mason Wilder to basically make himself famous, right? Like, it was all about what he has done because he wanted to climb up, right? He wanted to climb up as the board of the theater and climb up to be able to be the writer and director of the plays. And then eventually, even when he got there, his next step was to like spend the theater money on getting in like producers from Broadway to get himself noticed, right? That was his big plan. Except it didn't work. It didn't work because the producer came and saw his play and decided that that man just has no talent, right? He's a terrible hack and his writing is terrible and he has no future in the business outside of the community theater. And even in the community theater, he basically had to kill a bunch of people to make it up the ladder. But instead, one of his co-conspirators and his girlfriend is getting her big break, right? Because she is the composer, the conductor, and she got noticed by this producer from Broadway. So now she's getting an offer to go and work there. And she's gonna make it big. We already know this. We already noticed that that's where she ends up. And in the last case, the stagehand that was basically Mason's henchman got killed as well, which means Mason is kind of all alone now with his failure, and that may lead to some interesting situations. So we'll see where that takes us then. What is he going to do now that he doesn't have people to help him with his terrible deeds anymore? And what are his new goals in life, right? Since he failed at his big break. So let's get into that. Yes, he's gonna be famous as a serial killer. I mean, that's where he's heading. Like, he's killed quite a few, that's for sure. So we have Perfidy, Chapter 7 in 1988. So yes, it's been, again, 3 years since the previous events. So I assume by now Cassidy might be gone. And it's just him. Yes, so there he is. There is Mason Wilder, still performing at community theater. And as the sands pass, we too, so shall we. I mean, his acting is also terrible. Mason, you have to let this go. Woodering isn't previews. I don't have time for this. I just want to get on with my life and wish you would too. Do not contact me again, or I will have my lawyer enforce the cease and desist order. Yes, Cassidy's like, I am famous now, or at least getting famous. I am getting the jobs. And please leave me alone. I no longer want to be implicated in your schemes. And I mean, she is also responsible for people dying. So obviously she doesn't want that ruining her career. So she's trying to stay as far away from Mason as possible. But I'm sure he is probably trying to potentially blackmail her into being like, well, you got your big break, so get me in on this or I will tell. The number of spectators have also decreased. Yes, there is like lots of empty seats in here as well. Had to look it up. Perfidy means the state of being deceitful and untrustworthy. Yeah, well, definitely that. Yes, there's a crumpled up picture of Mason and Cassidy. Just a memory now. The actor looks exhausted and annoyed. Yeah, the things have gone down at the theater. Yes, there is some stage sets. But nothing else to click on here? Okay, things are very sparse on the stage. What about behind? Pratterly Florist. Okay, so we know about Pratterly Florist because there used to be an actor in the theater called Dan Pratterly, and he used to be the one that was chosen over Mason for various things. But then he disappeared. But he didn't, as far as I know, he didn't get killed. As far as we were shown, so it's like, what happened to him? Did Mason just push him out in other ways? Yes, Pratterly Florists. There is someone in this van. Shouldn't they be back by now? Okay, who they're waiting for. Okay, there's a clue on solution page has been updated. Okay. Oh, yes, we have to do stuff about the people in the van who arrived in the van. Okay, well, let's explore more. So there's a few people there. They've got like balaclavas, the hat you put all over your face in the van. So they're planning some sort of thing. Yes. She's wearing a Piss Gator t-shirt, and the bunny rabbit that worked in wardrobe, Sheila, she was in a band, and I don't think she was in Piss Gator. I think she was in a band that played alongside Piss Gator at some sort of event in a bar. But yes, I'm pretty sure she's in prison for murdering Chris Todd's girlfriend because she was into Chris Todd, Todd Chris, the guy with 2 first names, and he rejected her. She killed his girlfriend, went to prison, then he gets killed. So that might be someone she knows, and then a couple other guys. So this time it might be not about Mason's terrible plans. It might be about things finally coming back to haunt him. Kyle's notebook, do not read. Children of Gibson, 1:18:88 minutes. Oh, like meeting minutes. Call to order, all present, reading from Shakespeare. Slanderous commercial disgust. We will not be mocked. Dan says it's time we strike back. Vote for revenge. 4-0 passes. But how? Various plans discussed. Bathroom break. Plans discussion continued. Plans solidified for this coming Saturday. Step 1. Park Dan's van around corner from BTT, that's Birch Tree Theater, during show. Office will be empty. Step 2. Sneak in. Terry still has keys to building. Yana delivers payload to MW's desk. Escape. Dan has protection if they run into trouble. Drive away like nothing happened. Terry motions for a moment of silence for his Uncle Todd's memory. Motion denied. Adjourned. Glory to Gibson. Okay, so this is like... Yes. This is like various people. So Dan is here. So I assume, again, Dan wasn't dead, but somehow Mason got rid of him. So obviously he's disgruntled, right? Because Dan was actually... It seemed like he was better, at least as an actor, than Mason, and he got pushed out. Terry is, yes, the nephew of Chris Todd that, because of Mason's schemes, got killed. So again, he has beef with Mason. I don't remember a Gibson. So that might be something new. And Kyle and Yana are also new, but again, there might be something to do with some other characters that were, killed, because obviously they can't take revenge, but there might be like family members being like, I know they didn't do this or something else. Like, I know it wasn't an accident. The Gibson players. Okay, that might be that's where the Gibson is coming from. In association with Prattley Florist and G&U. Proudly present Julius Seabird with William Shakespeare. Some bios stick out. Dan Pratterly. Yeah, so this might be like a separate, basically acting group or something like that. That they formed because they don't want to be associated with the murderous theater. Dan Pratterly Seabird is a founding member of the Gibson Players. Previous GP shows include Hometown, The Amazings, and Call Me Crazy. Other productions include Cell Block Jazz, Oh Scrooge, and Hello Girl. Dan owns and manages Pratterly Florist, which has served the community for over 40 years. Mentioned this bio bid for 5% discount. Love to Sandy, Luke, and Carrie, GTG. Yana Stormwall. Stormwall is a name. I have my little sheet of all the characters from previously. So I can reference. Yes, so we previously had Elena Stormwall. She was the previous conductor who Cassidy poisoned with laxatives and then framed for being an alcoholic in order for her to be able to be the conductor. So this might be a relation of Elena. Props Master has worked on backstage tech crews ever since high school. Coming from a musical family, she plays both classical viola and bass for the hardcore band P-Gator. Know how to say piss in this leaflet. Yana is a certified exotic animal handler who is available for children's birthday parties. GTG. Okay. We're getting into the weird thing again, right? Everyone in this universe is an animal themselves. They're like humanoid, cats, dogs, bulls, birds, whatever. How is she an exotic animal handler as well? Is she bringing like a person, like her lizard friend, to this party and she's handling them? This is weird. Okay. He's also holding something. Love that juxtaposition of hardcore band and children's birthday parties. I think is a fairly kind of thing that happens, you know, when, you know, people are trying to make it as a whatever band or actor or whatever, but it takes a long time and a lot of lag for that to bring in money. So what they have to do in the meantime is like, yes, kids' birthday parties and bar mitzvahs and all that kind of stuff, because like that pays at least while they're, you know, trying to get their big break in Pissgator. Okay, so I think that's everything in the van. Yes, we got the brooch from the hand. Ice cream. Established 1967. I guess that might be the theater building, or that was a cinema before. Okay, we also have up. So this is the office in the thing. Someone put a chair to block the door. A chair is wedged under the doorknob. And this says President's office. So that will be Mason's office since he's the president now. The sign reads Charles Gibson Memorial Ballroom. Okay, well, Charles Gibson was the goat guy who they framed for taking drugs and he fell off the roof, right? So he did nothing wrong. Oh, the door reads President's office. Yes, okay, I didn't need to lean into that. So we can now go to the sides. Okay. We've got a bunch of people here. And yes, this is the office we saw last time, right? When they were doing the other schemes. So what's going on here? The man is dead. Okay. The man is dead. The woman is dead. They're all dead. In his pocket is a small knife. Okay, he's got a knife on him. He has something else. In his pocket is a small ring of keys. Yeah, what were they doing? There seems to be like a smoke bomb and whatever. The woman is dead, yes. Zeke's Exotic Zoo receipt. Black Mamba Snake, name Rascal age 2, $80 paid. Feed small mammals or birds twice a week. Again, it's weird. How are animals having animal pets? Note, aggressive when cornered, extremely venomous, fatal within minutes. I think a Rascal may have been the payload. If could they have tried to put the snake into Mason's office so that the snake bites him and kills him? Yeah, exactly. Leaving a deadly snake for him. Jay, I know you know what you're doing, but I still think it's a bad idea to keep this little guy as a pet. Promise me you'll be extra careful. So yes, did the snake get them? She's got a pair. Oh yes, she does. She does have a bite mark. But you know, she's got a pair of bite marks, but is everyone getting bitten by this nog? Let's see. Miss Stormwall. In all my years of tending to the infirm, your mother is by far the most difficult person I have cared for. Her rants are becoming more delusional and she takes great pains to direct her ire towards me. She threw a smoothie at me last Thursday, claiming that I was trying to kill her with diarrhea poisoning. Again, please talk to her. Another incident like that and you'll need to find another nurse for her, Jacqueline. Okay, so basically Elena has been sent to some sort of care and now she thinks people giving her smoothies are trying to give her diarrhea because that's what actually happened to her, but no one believes her, right? But yes, that means this is the daughter of Elena. Okay, is there... I assume we have to name them, yes. So her name is Yana Stormwall. And then the other two, one of the other two is gonna be Dan Pratterly. This might be him, because we know him, he's a dog, so that would be the dog ears and the dog tail. Does he also have a bite mark? I mean, he has a knife. It's hard to he has some his hand is bleeding from a small puncture and his leg is bleeding from a small puncture, so that's a possibility. And this is some other guy. He also definitely has bite marks on his leg and he's dead. Okay, so it's some sort of smoke bomb. Yes, there's a smoke bomb in the office. But that means somewhere in here, there's a snake. It's an empty grocery bag with a hole in the bottom. Yes, okay, so the snake has made it out of the bag. Oh, is this the snake? There we go. A snake! Careful so we don't get bitten. Can we pet the snake? Pet, 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 pet. Please don't bite. The Prairie Chronicles. From Main Street to Broadway. This week, area native Cassidy Hilliard makes her debut as a Broadway composer. The show, Wuthering, is a musical adaptation of the Emily Barman novel. After 3 weeks of previews, it officially opens this Friday on Broadway. It's been a whirlwind for sure. I've been locked in a dressing room all morning doing lyric reviews, Miss Hilliard says, speaking by phone on a lunch break. I've been writing songs as long as I can remember. When the opportunity to musicalize one of my favorite books came along, naturally I jumped on it. Hilliard, a GNU alum, built her musical reputation as a piano teacher at the Birch Tree Theater, resident music director. She was also acclaimed for her community songwriting workshops. The BTT debuted her first musical Trojans. Although it was not well received, Miss Hilliard has referred to it as a valuable learning experience. Soon after, she moved to New York to start working on Wuthering. I owe a lot to the Birch Tree Theater, she says. It was an important stepping stone in my career. who put the chair against the door. I mean, maybe Mason found them, right? Maybe Mason caught them in the act and basically locked them in there to deal with them later. And he didn't maybe even realize they had a snake with them. So they were just trapped in the room and the snake made it out and killed them. So he was like, I'll just come deal with you later. And then they all died. Wherein poisonous plants, animals usually depicted with very vibrant neon colors. But that's poisonous, right? Well, the snake is venomous, right? Poisonous things are the things that if you eat them, then they will poison you. So they're very vibrant to be like, don't eat me, I'm poison. Not always the truth. Like, there are things that are not vibrant and they're still poison. But venomous snakes, they would be... like they would be doing the attacking or defending themselves, so there would be more camouflaged, I would think. I mean, again, not an expert, but I think that's kind of the difference between the two types. Okay, that's still okay. Mason still has the ring he was going to give Cassidy, but then she moved away, so he still misses her. And now he has even more alcohol in his drawer. So he's slipping. From the offices of a David Lamb, Esquire. Notice to cease and desist. Dear Mr. Wilder, this letter is served due to your harassment of Miss Cassidy Hilliard by multiple attempts to contact her via letter and telephone activity, despite her attempts to block contact from you. If the activity continues, we will immediately seek a restraining order and possible arrest against you and any accomplice, and will seek monetary damage to be proved by trial. This letter serves as your final warning. Sincerely, David Lamb, Esquire. Yes. So Cassidy is just going all legal on him. Leave me alone. Do not contact me ever again. A plane ticket to New York City and a theater ticket to show Woodring. Okay, so he even despite that, even despite her going, do not contact me again, he still got tickets to go see her show. So he is not letting go. We've got Mason Wilder headshots, got an achievements for looking at them. He got his own headshots in his own office because he's so vain. And there is, okay, so there is some sort of recordings.
The Birch Tree Theater invites you to Perfidy, an exciting new play about a tumultuous love triangle. Unlike other companies, Birch Tree produces professional grade shows at community theater prices, such as Swoley Tom and Oh Scrooge. Other groups only offer tepid and uninspired plays you read in high school. What a snooze fest. If you'd rather see thrilling, edge-of-your-seat theater, come to Perfidy, running through February 21st. Call the Birch Tree Theater box office for tickets.
Okay, so someone in the van, there was something about an ad, like the reason they were having a meeting, there was something about some advertisement. So is this it, right? Is this like Mason putting out an advert being like, other groups, they put out boring plays, right? And they're like, how dare you? So this was, they already have a grudge against Mason, but now they are like, and then you dare to do this? So they're basically having extra reasons to hate him. Okay, I think that is everything in this room. But we still have clues because we can go here. There are other people here in the boardroom. Yes, there's been a breaking at the Birch Tree Theater. I've detained the intruders inside an office. Okay, so it wasn't even Mason. This snake guy is the one that put the chair. He just noticed that they were breaking in and he just locked the door on them. And then, yes, he didn't realize there was a snake. Thank God he heard the noise. This is... what was his name? Frank, I want to say. His wife was killed at the fundraiser dinner where the wardrobe rabbit was trying to poison Chris Todd's girlfriend, but instead the wife got poisoned and died. I don't think, yeah, I didn't update the thing since yesterday. But yes, she died due to poisoning. The theater's financial ledger. We also know her. I hope I don't regret calling this meeting also, okay? What is this meeting about? Dear Miss Sui, yes, that's her name. Sui something. And the Birch Theater board. I write today to share concerns about Mason Wilder and his leadership of the BTT. I spent years as his creative and romantic partner and can say with certainty that Mason cares only about himself. He bolsters his ego with bribery and networks of underlings, all under the guise of benefiting the BTT. 3 years ago, Mason embezzled BTT's money to fly in a Broadway producer to see Trojans, as well as hire professional musicians. He knew the board wouldn't approve, so he did this in secret, hoping it will grant us success beyond the BTT. I can't connect this plot to the death of the then treasurer Scott Rhodes, but knowing Mason and his connection to the late Todd Chris, it wouldn't surprise me. Mason confessed his plan to me when I ended our relationship, thinking it would change my mind. It didn't. The terrible truth is that I owe my newfound success to his schemes. I was lucky to escape Mason's orbit, and I pray you may forgive me for whatever role I played in enabling him. By coming clean, I hope to play some small part in securing future for the BTT. Cassidy Hilliard. Okay, so Cassidy is just like selling him out, and she's playing it as, oh yeah, I was just caught in his orbit. Like, no. You were a willing participant. You personally did the laxative thing. He didn't help you with that. That was you. And then participated in other things that had people injured or killed, right? The only thing she said no to was killing the daughter of the founder, right? Because she was like, no, we shouldn't kill her just so you can be president. And after that, she wasn't involved in the last thing. But previously to that, she was totally helping Mason. So she's now trying to wash herself of all responsibility. So you're not quite in the clear, Cassidy. Are we safe in here? Okay, she's got some sort of bracelet that says LL. But not sure who, like, we haven't seen her before as far as I know. Birch Tree Theater Board, special meeting, January 23rd, 1988. Present board members, Antonia Sweet, that's the VP, yes, so we know her. She's the crocodile alligator. So we can put her name immediately before I forget. This is Frank, we don't have his name yet. Like, to fill in. Yes, Frank Herdin. So we can put that in. Roger Dumont and Lara Levin. Okay, well, based on that, she's got the LL bracelet, so she's Lara Levin. And then he must be Roger Dumont then, because that's the only person left in the room that's part of this board meeting. Quorum reached, 4 out of 7 members. New business, discussion of the fitness of Mr. Wilder to remain as board president. Reading of incriminating letter from Cassidy Hilliard. Motion to oust Mr. Wilder from the board. Vote 4-0, motion carried. Okay, so the board is now trying to remove Mason. or actually succeeding in removing Mason, right? Because they voted 4-0. So he's gonna have a nasty surprise waiting for him. After tonight's performance, Roger will call Mason into the boardroom and meeting pause to investigate noise in the hallway. Yes, and then they discover the break-in. Okay, so that's most of the name. Actually, I'm pretty sure this person here is Dan Pratterly, because he's the dog that used to work in this theater or perform in this theater. So we just have that one last person to name. Except, isn't that Terry? That's Terry the nephew, right? This one. Terry Chris Todd's nephew? Yeah, because, yes, he was the stagehand that was responsible, well, not responsible, who ended up accidentally killing Todd Chris, because he had to be left unsupervised due to schemes. Okay, yes, that's all the names. It was Todd Chris. Every time I'm like, was it Todd Chris? Chris Todd? I'm just like, okay, so who arrived in the van? So you have to assign leader and defense, building access, payload handler, driver. Yes, you have a system for remembering. So building access, that was Terry Chris, right? Because he still had keys from the time where he worked backstage. Payload handler, that's gonna be Hare, because she's the one handling the snake. Her name is Yana Stormwall. And not Lara. Yana Stormwall. There is a driver, but I'm not actually sure who that is. Which means leader and defense must be Dan Pratterly. Right, that's him. So there must have been a name in the van then. We have all the clues now, so we're basically there for the solving. The meeting notes. Kyle's notebook. Okay, so someone is called Kyle. Children of Gibson. Dan says it's time we strike back. Yes, that further leads to him being a leader. Yes, so he must be Kyle. But Kyle what? Yes, one or two souls are feeling correctly. Like, I haven't finished yet, game. Is he related to someone? That... Oh. Wait. So he's holding this brooch. And... it was somewhere else. It was... here. Yes. Here she's wearing this brooch. So that is... like, that's him and that's his mother. So he's... Herden? Yes, there we go. So yes, they're here to take revenge for everything that has happened to them or their family members because of this theater. Okay, so that's it. We just filling in what happened now. So seeking revenge for rest block, bribe, embezzle, kill, lock, mock. I think mocking, right? Because that's what the note said about, like, the advert was mocking them. Like, let's just confirm the wording. Yes, we will not be mocked. Slanderous commercial disgust. So yes, seeking revenge for mocking the children of Gibson players. I guess children of Gibson is what they call themselves, but they're actually Gibson players. with a commercial. Dan Pratterly, I think it's gonna be, since he's the leader, assembled a team to kill? Because I think the plan is it was to kill him with the snake, right? To kill Mason Wilder. They entered his office using Terry, Chris's keys and planted a venomous snake provided by Yana Stormwall. Meanwhile, someone called a secret meeting. I guess Antonia, because she's sitting there as the vice president with the letter of board members to oust Jason, not Jason, Mason Wilder, because Cassidy Hilliard wrote to tell them he had embezzled money. The meeting was interrupted when Roger Dumont heard a noise and went to investigate. Seeing the children of Gibson inside where is it? Mason's office, he blocked the door and called the police. Inside the office, panic ensued when they couldn't open the door, which led to someone's smoke bomb going off and the snake killing everyone inside. Okay, who had the smoke bomb on them? Was it Dan's? Because, like, it's next to Dan. Like, he just dropped it. Because, like, he had the keys and the keys are next to him, and she had the snake is next to him, so... Was it Dan's smoke bomb? Yeah, there we go. After Mason released a BDD commercial that mocked rival theater troupe, the Gibson Players, a small sect known as the Children of Gibson, all with reasons to hate Mason, conspired to kill him by releasing a deadly snake in his office. Meanwhile, other members of BDD board were secretly meeting across the hall in an attempt to oust Mason. Board member Roger Dumont heard the intruders and upon seeing them in Mason's office, blocked the door to trap them inside. Chaos ensues in the office and the snake bit and killed the 3 children of Gibson, Dan Pratterly, Terry Chris, and Yana Stormwall. Yes, it wasn't good for Mason. I mean, in the end, he avoided being killed by the snake, but yes, that means he is no longer on the board, right? He's out. Birch Tree Theater newsletter, spring 1988. Turning over a new leaf for community theater. Dear Birch Tree family, I am humbled to be writing my first newsletter as board president. I have proudly served on the board for over a decade, so stepping into this role is both an honor and a dream come true. I won't lie, the past few years have been rocky, but I am committed to writing this ship's course and defining a future for the theater that includes everybody. Therefore, here are some future initiatives that I am very excited for. A return to programming mainly musicals, 2 classic, 1 modern, 1 family holiday show per year. A Playwrights Club, a bi-monthly book club for plays. Public masterclasses, scene study, song performance, music composition. Post-show discussions with guest artists. Board meeting will now be open to the public, dates to be announced. We are committed to being an artistic hub that serves the community. Therefore, we will also be setting a suggestions hotline. Please leave us a message with ideas for future productions, new programs, or anything else. I'll also take this opportunity to congratulate BDD alum Cassidy Hilliard on the debut of her musical Wuthering on Broadway. Cassidy was the musical backbone on this theater for years, serving as conductor, pianist, and workshop teacher for many years. If you ever worked with Cassidy, you know what a delight she is, other than the murder. Cassidy, we're all so proud and so thankful for the years you lent us your talents. I'll be organizing a group trip to New York City to see Wuthering. Anybody interested in joining can let me know by calling the hotline. Auditions for the summer musical Kickline, replacing the previously scheduled King Deer, will be the first weekend of April. Details to be printed in the Prairie Chronicle soon. The future of the Birch Tree Theater is bright. I can't wait to turn over a new leaf with all you. Antonia. Okay, so Antonia went from VP to the president now. Hopefully it wasn't like hair schemes, like she wasn't killing people in the background and sabotaging them. Maybe she's like normal. Okay, so Bakery of Terrors, a new musical, is the next one in 1990. Also, interestingly, so I saw that the dev of this game, he's like a Broadway musician himself, and like composer and stuff. So I'm like, any of this inspired by real events behind the scene of the theater? Does there happen to be a lot of murder? Hopefully not, but who knows what dirt he's seen. So let's go into the Bakery of Terrors. Ooh. Okay, well, Mason's still here. He's not left, even though he's been kicked off the board. It looks like he's still performing at the theater because he just can't let it go. And looks like Cassidy's here as well. She came to see what's going on. So what are you doing, Mason? The frosting cover man sings. All of a sudden, Mason is here to surprise you. All of a sudden, Mason, look him in the eye. All of a sudden, Mason just wants to hear you say, he gave you your start, then you ripped out his heart. Yes, you're a star now, but Mason is white. Okay, so maybe he isn't supposed to be here. Maybe they kicked him out and he just jumped out of the cake during the play. He like snuck in and he got a knife. Yeah, a shiny prop style knife. And Wuthering poster, I guess, from the actual production she's involved in on Broadway. Okay, so Mason is going crazy. I'm sorry, Cassidy. I don't know how this happened. Yeah, okay, so they were not expecting him to jump out of a cake. She was coming to see the theater perform without him. Bakery of Terror, the Birch Tree Theater, Antonia Sui, board president, proudly presents Bakery of Terrors. Music by Alan Minkin, book and lyrics by Mallard Ashman. Some bios stick out. Roy Morgan, Cecil, is thrilled to be returning to the BTT for a third time. Previous roles include Captain Turner in North Atlantic and Waiter in Hey, She Digs Me. Roy is a contractor that specializes in caulking. His resemblance to any other local actor is pretty coincidental, haha. Love to Janine, Harvey, and Roy Jr. Okay, so he's gonna look like one of the other characters we have previously seen. Kenny Giles, reporter, marketing representative, ensemble, is making his BTT debut. You may have caught him in Gibson Players producing productions such as Julius Seabird Hats and Simmer Down. He's a junior at River City High, where he's an active member of the VIPs and a student of the Wilder Acting Studio. Okay, so Mason Wilder now has his own acting studio teaching people how to act, even though he's not so good. Yes, he's doing his own thing. Jacob Hamming, Urgent 3. We know Jacob Hamming. Interesting enough, Jacob Hamming is who in the first, like the tutorial scenario, he shoots Mason Wilder. So he's here now. He's getting ready for his big role at the end. Is thrilled to be returning to the Birch Tree Theater after getting his beak wet in the last season's Downhill from Here. Jacob is a sophomore at River City High, where he's an active member of the wrestling team, show, choir, go VIPs, and debate club. Love to Mom, Dad, and the cast and the crew of Bakery of Terrors. The program insert reads, Dear patron of the arts, please stick around after the show for a guest talk back with Broadway composer and her Birch Tree alum, Cassidy Hilliard. Okay, so they invited her to just kind of promote them, being like, hey, you know, I used to perform here and now I'm famous. But Mason is ruining everything. There's a gun. A gun. Still warm. Okay, that's some foreshadowing for Mason right there. This lady, she's not got anything we can do about her. This guy, he's got a note. Kenny, I love you, but I'm begging you to reconsider this. I know he's your teacher, but just because he's a good actor doesn't mean he's a good person. He was banned for a reason, and this would make you his accomplice. If someone gets hurt, I don't know if I could forgive you, Jacob. Okay, so he manipulates his student. He manipulates his student that's coming to him for acting lessons into helping him get back into this theater that he's banned from. This man does not know when to stop. So that tells us that Kenny Giles is this cat guy here. Likely. Let's just put it in before I lose it. We know this is Mason Wilder. And this guy here in the background, I think this is gonna be Jacob Hamming because that's what I got for him from the first act. Oh my god, I can't believe he went through with it. Okay. Did he actually know it was going to happen? Okay, Jacob Hamming. Oh, I guess he wrote this note, so he knew that Kenny was being manipulated. And Kenny's got a wrench for something. The cake we can also inspect. An impressive large puppet of an anthropomorphic cake, yes. Giant cake that Mason jumped out of. Okay, and a giraffe is a conductor now, and he's looking pretty concerned about this. Anything else? They got like bakery goods on the props. So I guess nothing here. Things at the front. Due to heightened security, bags and other personal items might be subject to search. We apologize for the inconvenience. Okay, so they're actually now worried about people storming the theater and bringing things they shouldn't be bringing because, you know, crazy people are involved. A plaque reads, Susan Prescott's Memorial Reading Room. A taped up note card below reads, Security Office. Yes, they didn't check the cake. No one was suspecting the cake. Okay, so they now have a security office. A torn piece of paper. Okay, something has been added to our solution page. Okay, so we have to find the rest of the paper in various bins. Did someone actually, you know, had to dispose of something and didn't just crumple the note and put it in the nearest bin? Someone succeeded almost at the destroying some sort of note. Okay, so we've got security office in this room. Rodent, rat poison. Okay. The certificate reads, rest assured, the Birch Tree Theater is certified safe by hometown security measures. Service package includes 1 security guard, 1 security camera, 1 security monitor with videotape recorder and security scrolling device. Okay, so they hired security, but it didn't seem like that solved their problems. Coffee problem roasters. Okay, did someone like slip some drugs into the security person's coffee? Yes, the woman is asleep. Yeah, so maybe she's... I mean, either she's really bored at her job or she's been drugged. June 2nd. Recovering from opening night. Got too drunk at the party. Not a great look for a security guard, but everyone's cool. Angie kept bringing me more champagne. Who am I to say no? I think she felt bad because she brought me a coffee today. Okay, Angie's suspicious. She's like plying the security guard with champagne and then giving her coffee that potentially had stuff in it. So Angie may be in on some things. Got a letter from Mrs. Sui about opening. Guess the party's over. Not sure why a part-time playhouse in a small town needs security, but whatever. Somebody thinking about stealing a fake cake. Angie brought me coffee again, so it's not all bad. They know actors and stagehands help them put clothes on. Theater is weird. June 8th. She noticed my nails. Heart. She said she arrived early to do laundry, but maybe she just likes seeing a woman in uniform. Okay, maybe Angie is just her like friend. Maybe, hopefully, girlfriend. So maybe she didn't like do this on purpose in terms of trying to get her to sleep on the job. June 10. Cappuccino. Wrote this down so I can look it up later. Angie brought me one. New kind of a coffee. Not my thing, but I'll drink anything that girls brings me. June 13. Thinking about Miss Angie Nash. Nash. That name has occurred before in this theater, so it's someone who already has been around here. Miss Angie, if you're nasty. 2 days off was torture. June 14, fell asleep, didn't write anything. Okay. The TV, I mean, it looks off, but there are actual things here. Security tech. Okay, here's Mason. Disguise, like fake mustache, fake hair, glasses. Someone putting something in the plant pot. I'm pretty sure still Mason, just in a different disguise. And then breaking into the employees only room. Okay, and now we've looped around. Yes, okay. So yes, it's Mason doing things at the employees only door. Something is in the plant pot. Door code, month, 2 digits. Weekly code from Antonia, 4 digits. Day, 2 digits. Okay, there is some sort of way to get the code. Yes, he's a master of disguise. No one can tell it's him. So, door code. Month, 2 digits. Weekly code that Antonia has. And then day, 2 digits. So we'll probably need this to open something because this game has done this before, right? Where we actually had to know the code. Dear Miss Maloney, let this letter serve as a formal reprimand to on-the-job intoxication. I understand that we shall enjoy the festivities of an opening night, but in this day and age, security is very important. I shouldn't need to lecture you on that. If this happens again, I will have no other option but to request a replacement security guard from HSM. I know we've spoken about this at length, but be aware that Mr. Wilder will likely try to enter the theater on the day of the talkback, June 14, photos attached. That's why we've been changing the door code every day. He was banned from the theater last year for trying to intimidate actors during shows. But who knows what he's capable of now that Miss Hilliard is involved. He knows how to persuade people to do what he wants, so be ready. Yes, so the security guard is indeed in trouble for things. Yes, we need to name her. So she's Maloney. But other than that, I'm not sure we have her first name yet. Okay, that's pictures of Mason for hair reference. And then Angie Nash is the person that was bringing her coffee. Okay. I think I clicked everything in here. We can keep going to the side. Okay, this is the employees only door. This is the camera. Yes, that's the angle we're seeing. Yes, there is a thing in the plant. Yes, that's another torn piece of paper that goes into our solution. Okay, this may be the 4-digit code that we need. That is the weekly code from Antonia. Okay. Okay, so on that security footage, he's going to the toilet to change his disguise. That's why. Okay, another piece of code. Yes. A duffel bag contains a large trench coat and padding, as well as sunglasses and fake mustache. There is a tag on the bag with the name Derek McGloin. Okay, so this is the stuff that Mason was using to disguise himself. He stuffed it all in the bin. The envelope is labeled with the name Heathcliff Bronco and contains 1 ticket for Bakery of Terrace. Okay, so that's the ticket that he used to get in here. All employees must wash hands, paws, hooves, including thumbs, opposable or not. Okay, there is more paper in the toilet. Yes. Okay, is that all the paper? 6583. 6583. I guess we should have the rest of the code based on like what dates there are, right? Because she's got a diary she's writing. So is it June 14th now? Because that's the day that's unfilled. And so the code should be 06858314. Because I assume we're gonna need it to enter the security, like the employees only door. Yeah, exactly. So 06658314. There we go. We're in. So even though they've scrapped the note, we still found it. What a strange loop. You took a long way around the theater. Okay, so we didn't have to open the door. This was just a thing because... oh yeah, okay, we could have gone left on this screen and it would have taken us the same place. So it was an optional challenge to open the employee door. And obviously Mason had to do this because he needed to sneak in the back. So we have some more people here. She's new. Oh, no, 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 no. Page 89, Kelly. Get away from me, you horrible monster cake. She shoots a gun at the cake. Kelly cake. Ha! You think you can stop me? Soon every kitchen in America will have a Kelly cake. Now get in my mouth and join your friend Cecil. Never! The sound of rambling is heard. A Kelly cake starts shaking. What's going on? No! In a burst of frosting, Cecil bursts from inside of the cake, brandishing the knife from before. Kelly cake is defeated. Cecil, the cake! It attacked me and... Kelly! I heard you from inside the cake, your voice. It saved me. No, Cecil. You saved me. They kiss. All of a sudden, Cecil is here to protect you. All of a sudden, Cecil, he won't make you cry. All of a sudden, Cecil will show the respect you're due. Right from the oven, a loaf made from lovin'. All of a sudden, Cecil's your guy. Okay. I'm not sure the writing has improved around the theater. But yes, so Mason actually did replace someone inside the cake and he still like tried to do it as part of the play, his whole jumping out of the cake and singing some weird song, although he did, yes, he did change the song to be about him. We've got a locker that says DM. Yes, DM written on it. There's some tools. Something's missing, but one of them had a wrench or something. And lots of clothes just piled at the bottom. Okay. The hell? Keller. Okay, we know Keller because she was already the wardrobe assistant. Again, in like the very first chapter, she walked in on what happened there. Samantha. Have you seen the backup Cecil costume? Act 2. It's missing from the understudy rack. Do not repeat this, but I'm wondering if Angie misplaced it. I don't want to point any fingers just yet, but try to keep an eye on her today. Maybe she's just distracted by this thing she has going on with Candace, but something seems off. Bam. No, I think now I'm back to thinking Angie is in cahoots with Mason, so she was getting the security girl drunk and putting things in her coffee, and yeah, maybe taking the costume for Mason. But yes, Candace is, guess, the name of the security lady. This is the wardrobe lady, so she's Keller, Samantha. We're still missing people to name. Okay, we have her here. Oh yes, she's got easy sleep, premium sleep aid, so she might be Angie because she's been sleeping the pills for the security guard. Coffee problem roasters, yes, she got a receipt and the coffee was from Coffee Problem. Cappuccino, yep. $2.99 cappuccino, $3.17 with tax. Enjoy your problem. Okay then. Interesting branding. So she is Angie Nash. I think based from the information we've gathered so far. 6 sleeping pills, yeah. That's probably an overdose right there. Okay, he's the stagehand apparel DM. Okay, that's his cupboard. He's the new stagehand. D. Memorize this note and destroy it. He did not. The day of reckoning is approaching, and I am counting on you and the other two to make this work. Okay, so Mason is once again getting the stagehands to help him do his dirty work. Plant a disguise for me in the lobby bathroom, the unisex one that locks. Something that will help me blend in backstage. Okay, so that's why the second time he comes out, he's wearing antlers because he's dressed as the stagehand. Also include the door code, just the middle part is fine. I know the trick. A will then assist me with in my final transformation, and K will have cleared the way for my grand entrance. Offer him assistance if he needs it. When I return to power, you will be greatly rewarded. I can't wait to confront the rot that's plagued this beautiful theater. Let's make Birch Tree great again. Okay, he's really just like not right in the head, Mason, that he has like delusions of grandeur. He thinks he's the greatest supreme leader of theater and people should bow before him. Yeah. Okay, so he's here. Okay, I'm still missing 4 clues and a person. Okay, there's stuff here. Ah, this is the dressing room that everything happens in the first chapter. The star on the door reads RM. Post-show. Place all costume items, including mic belts and undergarments, in the basket for wardrobe to wash. Lead actor items will be collected by Angie, ensemble items by Samantha. Please do not eat in costume or wear any part of your costume outside. Nash. Yes, that's Angie. That's her basket because it says she will be collecting lead actor, and because this is like door with a name, that's a lead actor room likely. Okay, we've got a coil of rope, a can of cake frosting, the fake antlers that I think Mason used, fake beard, he was also wearing that, stagehand apparel. Okay, so he was basically dressing as the stagehand. Discarded t-shirt and jeans, both dark. Yes, so that's his stuff he was dressed in. Okay. Still need 3 more clues. And I'm missing... Yes, I'm still missing a person. Okay, they're still outside. Wow, there's so many screens in this one. Who's this? Get me out of this damn dumpster. I need to be on stage for my song. Oh, okay, I get it now. So, here's a guy in the dumpster that looks surprisingly like Mason, but it's not Mason. Because, I mean, we know Mason is on stage, but what we've seen in this note is that says, yes, Roy Morgan is free to return. His resemblance to any other local actor is purely coincidental. So, I mean, you know, not to like discriminate against him or anything, but it feels like if you're having issues with one guy who may try to break in and, you know, cause trouble, maybe don't then hire a guy that looks exactly like him to cause confusion. But yes. So I assume it's Roy Morgan that's in the dumpster because Mason has replaced him. This guy is DM something. We must have his full name by now because I have all the clues. Yes, he's D something, but his belt says DM. We have Derek McGloin. So I got that name somewhere, but it wasn't here. It's probably it's written somewhere that I need to now be like, where did I get that? I mean, that's probably his name. I just want to reconfirm where I've read it. That's her coffee, that's her journals. That's always my biggest, like, nemesis in those games. Dungeon Master. Where it's like, oh, I got this piece of information somewhere, and then I'm like, oh, but where? Oh, this here. Derek McGloin, the duffel bag. That's what it is. Derek, because he's also helping. There we go. And we have the code, we have this. Okay, so we're ready to say who did it. So someone was scheduled to give us something at the Birch Tree Theater, so someone decided to something here. He had been banned. Okay, so Cassidy Hilliard was scheduled to give would they call it like back talk or something? Something. A contest actor guest, or maybe like a guest lecture at the Birch Tree Theater. So Mason decided to something her, attack her, confront her, maybe confront. He had been banned for intimidating actors in the past, so he needed accomplices and series of costumes to get inside. Mason entered the building disguised as something. So when he comes in first, let's watch the tapes again. He's wearing a coat and okay, so I guess he's basically pretending to be that other actor, right? As Roy Morgan. Oh, it's as a role. Oh, he's just coming as a guest. Guest or patron? Disguised as a guest? But mid-performance, he disguised himself as an stagehand and snuck backstage with the help of Angie? Was it Angie or was it Derek that helps him then? Let's just reread the notes. Plant a disguise for me in the lobby bathroom. Something will help me include the door code. A will assist me to find my final transformation, and K will have cleared the way for me to grant entrance. Okay, so that's actually Kenny, because Kenny is the one of the other actor that helps. With the help of Kenny Giles, the security guard didn't notice. Candace Maloney didn't notice because Angie Nash gave her a coffee with a sleeping pill inside. She also helped by disguising something for Mason. I mean, she did something for Mason, I think. Yeah, stealing, maybe that makes sense. Stealing and or like an outfit. An actor, a stagehand, uniform, costume for Mason. Lastly, helped by something with inside hiding so he could take his place. Yes, who put Roy in the dumpster? Helped by attacking the actor Roy Morgan with something. Oh, is that what the wrench is for? Because he's got the wrench, right? Why would he have a wrench? There is nothing. There was a wrench missing here, maybe. Like, why would he need a wrench on stage? Understudy costume? Oh, yes. Because there was a note. You're right. Yes. It's missing from the understudy rack. Cecil costume. Okay. So... understudy costume. Lastly, so Kenny helped by attacking the actor Roy Morgan with a wrench and hiding him in a dumpster so Mason could take his place on stage. Okay, we've got mistakes. Some of it I'm a bit shaky. So, we'll see. Cassidy Hilliard was scheduled to give a guest. Is lecture the word that we're looking for? I wasn't sure. Yes, because it's show. Please stick around the show after the show for guest talkback. Did I not? Oh no, there is a talkback. I just missed it. There we go. At the Birch Tree Theater. That didn't improve it, but that just may mean I had lots of things wrong. So Mason Wilder decided to confront. Again, is this confront? Is it? I mean, he's just talking. It's not like he's attacking her or anything like that. He's just yelling things out. So confront may seem to be, or intimidate is a possibility. Then he's been banned for intimidating actors in the past, so he needed accomplices and a series of costumes to get inside. That was actually explicitly stated that he was banned for that, right? Here. Yes, we've spoken about this. Be aware that Mr. Wilder will likely try to enter the theater. We've been changing the door code. He was banned from the theater last year for trying to intimidate actors during shows, but who know what he's capable of? Yes, so he's been banned for intimidating actors in the past, so he needed accomplices and a series of costumes to get inside. Mason entered the building disguised. That's probably wrong. Something else is disguised as what? He's wearing like a trench coat and like fake hair, sunglasses, mustache. Like, I don't think he's supposed to be anything specific. It could be patron, because like that would be someone who, you know, comes to like an actual ticket holding person that comes to theater. How was he inside the first chapter? I mean, it's weird because I thought he was even performing then. So yes, something happens here that he manages to make it back, or again he sneaks again. Like, I'm not like, something still happens after this before he actually gets killed. Mason entered the building disguised as a patron, but mid-performance disguised himself as a stagehand and snuck backstage with the help of not Kenny. Yes, that would have been the stagehand, right? Because he left the clothes. Okay, well, just one slot. Hello, very much craft. Welcome. Yes, something happens that means he's back again. Either unbanned or he breaks in again, but we'll see. The security guard, Candice Maloney, didn't notice because Angie Nash gave her a coffee with a sleeping pill. I'm fairly confident that's true. She also helped by stealing an understudy costume for Mason. Lastly, Kenny Giles helped by attacking the actor Roy Morgan with a wrench and hiding him in a dumpster so Mason could take his place on stage. So the biggest word I'm not sure of is whether he was coming in as a patron, as a guest. Okay, no, that makes it worse. So patron is the correct word there. Something else is incorrect. Just one word, so like here, Kenny Giles is correct, because that would be two things. So attacking is probably right. Actor Roy Morgan, yeah, with a wrench and hiding him in a dumpster. Take his place on stage. Yeah, there's nothing that fits better than on stage. Maybe again confront her. Yes, okay. Yes. So I shouldn't have changed that. That was correct the first time around. Upon hearing that Cassidy was returning to the Birch Tree Theater for a guest talkback, Mason conspired to publicly confront her about their breakup. Security was heightened for the event, but Mason was able to sneak backstage with the help of a stagehand. A student of Mason was enlisted to knock out the lead actor, who resembled Mason, and a dresser provided an understudy costume for him. The stagehand then helped hide the unconscious actor in the dumpster while Mason appeared on stage to confront Cassidy during the show's climax. I'm gonna say, like, again, they're like, okay, Mason is a problem, and they know that he keeps recruiting people to help him, yet they cast a guy that looks like him, right? Which is like, again, I sorry guy, but like, it's a security issue. We can't have the two of you running around. But they also cast a guy who's his student. Do they not like think about the fact, hey, this actor is literally studying under Mason. Surely he's prime target for being manipulated, right? They know he's a manipulator. They know this, and yet they let people that associate with him remain at the theater. I mean, yes, obviously the main problem is that Mason is insane, right? But they also need to step up in their security against him. But yes, he's a big manipulator. He's always promising people like those big ideas of, oh yes, and I will be leader, and then you will also raise in ranks. But you would think after he's been kicked out of being president, that wouldn't have worked anymore. Like, they would see through him. Mason. Fine, you win. Antonia and Frank resign in disgrace. That kid did time for assaulting Roy. Frankly, everyone who's ever crossed your path at the Birch Tree Theater has come to regret it. And I'm so tired of this back and forth that I'd rather just agree and be done with it. For fuck's sake, man, it's a musical theater. Was all this really worth it? I had Mario draw up the enclosed letter of agreement, just sign and fax it to his office. And I better not see your face until the day one of rehearsal. Roger. Letter of agreement between Mason Wilder, actor, and the Birch Tree Theater regarding Wuthering musical. Mr. Wilder agrees to perform in the lead role of Wuthering Heathcliff, for which he will be reasonably expected to attend all rehearsals and performances. Schedule attached. Mr. Wilder agrees to stay 100 feet away from the theater when not in rehearsal or performance for the musical in accordance with his current restraining order. Actor agrees to refrain from all attempts to contact Wuthering composer Miss Cassidy Hillard, composer, during the run of the musical, in accordance with his other current restraining order. The Birch Tree Theater agrees to allow Mr. Wilder access to the theater and its facilities during the run of the musical, and it normally would for any actor. Upon the conclusion of the run of the musical, Mr. Wilder agrees to never contact the Birch Tree Theater or any person affiliated with the theater, including but not limited to actors, musicians, stagehands, dressers, board members, ever again. Approved and accepted, Roger Dumont, president. Okay, so basically Roger went all the way to president because everyone's like, you know what? It's not worth it. Like, why would I volunteer at a theater that's at the center of this insanity, right? Like, it's not like you have a stalker. No, this theater has an insane stalker that kills or maims or destroys anyone who comes near it. Like, why would you want to be there? So yes, they're basically like, give up. They let him have his lead role just so he leaves them alone. Even though it just seems like the guy should already be in prison. Like, how is he still just allowed to walk free? Just, you know, with all his restraining orders. How has no one, like, looked back into all of the deaths and thought, like, maybe there was more going on? Okay. Well, we're making good time. So I think we are going to go into chapter 9. And yes, it's back to Wuthering, right? It's back to where it all happened, where finally Mason gets the payback, right? Because we know how this ends for him. We're just gonna see it in more detail now. Okay. So the stage is empty. It hasn't started yet, because I guess it happens before the show. The demise of Mason Wilder. Here's the orchestra pit, where the violinist, who did nothing wrong, was crushed by a desk because of Mason and Cassidy's scheming. Okay, that adds something to our solution page. Joycelyn. Wait, what was it? Mike, something about a tarnished tool? Tarnished fool. Yes, just a tarnished fool to blame and a stepping stool to fame. What a guy. Wouldn't be the first time he wrote his own alternate lyrics. I like tarnished tool better. Another drink? Okay, they're just laughing at alternate lyrics. Did Mason write himself a better song? No food or drink allowed in the pit. Yet here there are, eating and drinking in the pit. Yes, there's been lots happening in the story, so yeah, it's a crazy one. Like, they've really got that crazy theater vibe going on. Is that a banjo in the bag? Maybe. Looks about right from the shape of this, but I wouldn't be 100% sure. Okay, so that's what's going on in the pit. So here, okay, what happened is so long that it takes a page and a half. There will be something here. And the lyrics alteration, so we have to collect the altered lyrics. Okay. So let's continue exploring. There's the Oz room. We've been in the Oz room the last time. But right now there is nothing here to click. Maybe potentially they're just letting us access all the rooms. You know, this is the final scenario, so they're like, look at the whole theater, look at everything, you know, say goodbye to this crazy adventure we've been having. You know, the room where Scott was found, who also did nothing wrong. He was trying to prevent the embezzlement. Okay, we've got some backstage here. Matt, I swear I heard you snort when What's-His-Face rewrote the Epiphany. Martha, it was so batshit. I wrote some of it down. What a mess. Thank God Lord Out is tomorrow. Sucks that it's at 8 AM, but you know me. I let them scar me. But they'll be sorry. Okay, everyone's just laughing at the rewritten lyrics that Mason has done. Not this button. Water. Okay, everyone's got labeled water. Reminder, assistant stage manager must replace all water bottles before every performance. Okay. So that everyone's got named bottles of water, but that in this theater, that sounds like danger, right? Sounds like a villain's monologue being merged in the script. I mean, it's Mason, right? He's done it before. But yes, the water should be under high security, because who knows, laxatives, sleeping pills, poison, we've had it all. Peanut oil, too dangerous. They've got various tools, props here. Okay, so there is the song again. Below her, she says I'm below her. Just a mat without a name. Free to kick and free to shame. Because I'm below her. By God, I'll show her that I can beat back every blow. And leave the lesser men below. Yes, I'm stronger than she'll ever dare to know. I was a man who bowed and smiled, but never again. I had a dream of a wife and child, but never again. Yes, why would anyone leave their... Yes, exactly what I'm saying, right? Absolutely not. Everything, you know, that ever left your sight is now considered danger. Because, no, murder. Every greedy, vile foe bears the guilt of my death blow. Ha 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 ha. This clown. I assume that's not part of the lyric, that's just them laughing at his alterations. Floor 2, dressing room. Yes, we can go up to the dressing room. And that's where it happened, right? So here's Jacob Hamming. The theater is my home. I couldn't let him take it away. He's got a picture that I don't think he had in the tutorial thing, so that's new information. On the back of the photo is written, me and Kenny. Oh yes, Kenny, the guy that's was helping Mason before. So why did you take the job why did you take the job of the rigging operator? Because I didn't trust anyone else not to drop things on my head if I was on stage, yeah. Like everyone just has their rigging secured to themselves, their water, their food, their costumes, like just, you know, on stage with their security bag so they don't get murdered in some way. They're getting tats of the butchering. Okay, that was a fairly spooky noise. My dear Roger, fetid worm, here's a game to make you squirm. Start when one man slides head trauma set of 20 years of drama. Okay, interesting that the A is capitalized at the end. Why did someone leave this note for Roger? What do they want him to find and why? Unrelated maybe. Epiphany lyrics. Every something something foe bears the something something blow. I'll drag them all through hell before I go. What is he planning to do? Confront him after the show in his dressing room, okay? Start with one man's slide head trauma set of 20 years of drama. I mean, after the tutorial, the first scenario we do is the one where the current chairman, like the current president of the board, gets hit by the chandelier, but I'm pretty sure he dies, right? It wasn't light head trauma, he was pretty deadly. So that's interesting. Not sure if that's what we're referring to, or is it some other situation. And yes, he's got the tat. He actually got the Wuthering poster tatted on his chest. The gun. Still warm. The man is surrounded by blood and is not breathing. Yes, here's Mason Wilder. There's a broken vial in the corpse's jacket. Okay, so also a new detail that we didn't have the first time around. Yes, to whom am I concerned? My life has not been without its shortcomings. But on the whole, I have been blessed. My greatest blessing by far has been the pleasure of serving the community via Birch Tree Theater as the leader and a performer. It gives me no pleasure to leave behind the contents of this envelope, but I feel it to be my duty and my own one shot at redemption. Inside you will find evidence of their organization corruption and the crimes committed by its board members. My attempts to right this ship resulted in my ousted from the board years ago, and my admittedly naive threats to bring these crimes to light have only imperiled my own life. I have seen this organization soar, but I surely will not see those heights reached again in my lifetime. Perhaps, though, the revelation of the evidence I have found will be first step towards a bright future for the BDT. Theatrically yours forever, Mason Wilder. Okay, so we read that the first time around, right? But he was saying, you know, crimes committed by its board members, and I was trying to right the ship, but by now we know it was all him, right? He was doing all the crimes, or, you know, putting people up to do the crimes, but he was the mastermind of every single crime, basically, that happened. I mean, Cassidy did some things by herself, but he did most of it, right? So he's basically trying to use this one chance he got to come back to the theater to once again pretend like he's the guy that's trying to save the place and he's been doing everything right, and it's the other people that are corrupt and evil. Charles Gibson, deceased, murdered Christopher Gardner in April 1975 by staging an accident in the theater lobby. Gibson saw himself as the driving force in the theater's opening and was jealous of Gardner's leadership role. So he decided to take revenge. Note, evidence from Gibson to Mason staff to loosen lighting fixture in the lobby. I don't think we've ever seen this. I assume this is like fake because we know that the board postponed the decision on replacing the lighting fixtures, and therefore when the cork struck it, it did fall and kill Christopher Gardner, but I don't think we had any evidence that Charles actually arranged that, right? And like, how could he have predicted that if he made the chandelier fall, it would have only fell on Christopher and only killed him and didn't hurt anyone else? So I assume that's fake. Dan Pratterly, deceased, murdered Hans Fleming. He did not. By dropping a set piece onto him in the orchestra pit. Fleming was cuckolding Pratterly, and despite Pratterly enjoying the arrangement, Fleming threatened to blackmail Pratterly with the information. Yes, that's fake. Once again, he didn't. Fleming died because Mason wanted to embarrass Dan by making his trousers fall down, and Cassidy wanted to get back at the current conductor Elena by dropping a desk into the orchestra pit. The two things combined caused the desk to fall onto Fleming, but that was all Mason and Cassidy. Dan didn't do that. So yes, lies. All the lies. Like, is Mason convinced that he's done nothing wrong? Or, like, is he that delusional? Or is he just so set on lying about everything, right? Laura Levin murdered Charles Gibson, March 1980, by pushing him off the theater roof. She did not. Gibson was having an affair with Levin. No, a former student nearly 40 years here junior. They would have drug-fueled sexual encounters on the roof during performances, and she killed him when he refused to leave his wife for her. Nope, did not happen. Again, you staged that whole thing, Mason. Rona, deceased, and Frank Herdin. Evidence notes from Gibson to Levin requesting a final rooftop rest. Again, didn't happen. Murdered Susan Prescott with a deadly allergic reaction. Nope. Ms. Hedren wanted more power on the BTD board, so she and her husband conspired to poison Prescott by secretly sprinkling peanut oil on her food at the gala event. Mrs. Hedren's death the same night was coincidental. Evidence peanut oil label found under Mrs. Hedren's seat. Nope. Antonia Sui murdered Scott Rhodes in April 1985 by strangling him. Mason, you did that with your own hands. Sui tried to bribe Rhodes to get her daughter into Sunny Prep Academy, but he refused and she overtook him. She then pressured stagehand Todd Chris into hiding the body and taking Rhodes' place on stage, resulting in an accident that killed him. Evidence Sunny Prep brochure with handwritten notes from Zoe to Rhodes. Roger Dumont is using the theater to launder money from his homegrown marijuana sales. If anything happens to me, investigate him, search his office for clues. He is mentally unwell and has hated me ever since Casimir. He is addicted to marijuana. He once claimed it brings out of him his hidden alter ego, Demon King, named Ousting, who is capable of crazy and violent things. Evidence photo of Dumont smoking marijuana at Casimir cast party. Not the devil's lettuce. Cassidy Hilliard. Embezzled BTT funds for personal gain, hiring outside contractors for the BTT premiere of Trojans, and framed me for it. Evidence personal correspondence. Okay. So absolutely all of this is a lie. Right? Because every single thing in here is what Mason did. And yet he's trying to use it to tarnish the name of other people. Some of them were not innocent, but some of them were. A binder containing the score to the musical Wuthering. Yes, so that's the original song. And that's what he was supposed to be singing, but he is changing the lyrics into his villainous song. Again, if someone was actually good at music, I assume you could actually sing this, but I am not good at music, so I am not going to attempt that. Okay, we've got... Oh my god, I heard. What did you do? Yes. We know who she is, Samantha Keller. And it says Keller on this basket she dropped. And then we have the... Yes, running set list, Samantha Keller. We can probably fill that. Oh, we don't even have to do names, right? Oh, there is some sort of secret code we're having to get from this. Cool. We'll get to it. Yes, so we don't even have to do names. We're supposed to just know everyone by now. Yes, Jacob Hamming. He's the guy here that did the shooting. Of who we think is Mason. I think they didn't get like a third person that looks like him. Okay, we've got... Interesting. Someone's running off through the window. Yes, original broadcast recording of Wuthering. The following lyrics are circled in pen next to the handwritten words Our Song. My friend, my companion, my home, reprise, Linton. The world is full of danger. Scoundrels out for blood. They steal any chance. They'll twist every word. To drag your name through the mud. But when they wield their guilt and shame, I'll be there to clear your name. My friend, my companion, my home. Linton and Kathy, no matter what the world may bring, I'll stick with you through anything. My friend, my companion, my home. Next to the lyrics of Locked Away, someone has written, best time to sneak in. Okay. I mean, yes, he seems to have a big, like, oh, Cassidy, we should have been together, asked against the world, but you left without me. Wait in bathroom until you hear him close the dressing room door. Mr. Wilder, remember me? You said I was your best student, but now it's my turn to teach you a lesson about loyalty. Pull out gun. Okay. What's happening? What does loyalty mean to you? You demand of your students, but never would repay it. You said I could only audition for Bakery of Terrors if I helped you sneak into the building. You said you'd get me into Juilliard if I got Roy out of the way. I did everything you asked for because I trusted you and because I was loyal. So this is what his name was. Kyle? The kid that snuck him into the cake, right? Because he was studying under Wilder. But where were you when they tried me as an adult for assault? Where were you when I called from prison asking for help? Where were you when the love of my life turned his back, saying this was just too much for him? Where were you 2 years later when my mom kicked me out for having a problem? When nobody would hire me? when I couldn't get an audition for the Gibson Players, let alone Juilliard. I threw away my life because of you, Mr. Wilder. So again I ask, what does loyalty mean to you? Here let him speak and remember to listen and do what he taught you. It's just yes and yes and yes, and from there I hear out. Okay, so it's written from the perspective of that Staden he betrayed, but he was going to deliver the speech, right? Because that's him, me and Kenny. So he's basically here to like take revenge for Kenny because they were together. I mean, yes, it implied like, you know, in the previous chapter, Kenny had a letter which was like, Kenny, my love, don't do this. And it was from Jacob Hamming. So yes, he was here to deliver the speech on behalf of Kenny, who I guess is having a rough time because of what Mason made him do. Okay. So that's that. There is like earrings or something, like jewelry pieces on the ground. The window has been forced open and the shower curtain is draped through it, like if someone was trying to escape. Oh no, it's not earrings, it's the curtain rings. Because it got pulled down as someone was hanging on it, because, you know, those things are not meant to withstand you trying to escape through the window. Okay. More rooms. Okay, that's the street, yes, and here's the window with the curtain hanging out. There is blood around the dumpster, so get ready. I swear I didn't shoot him, Jacob. He just dropped dead. Okay, so here he is with his tat and injuries. So he was actually here. Okay, so it wasn't just Jacob delivering the speech. It was actually him doing it, but then he tried to run away after it happened. So actually Jacob didn't do it. Jacob didn't do it like we had it in the first time around, right? He's just taking the blame for his boyfriend, Kenny. Is Mason really dead? That vial is highly suspicious. I can't zoom in anymore, so obviously, yes, he has a vial that's it has a little blood on it, but not enough to be like, you know, he had a jar of blood and that's what's on the floor. Previously, might actually have to... I'm not sure this saves as we collect the words, so I'm not sure that we want to do that. Yeah, he's not breathing. Like, I'm trying to think, I think the only previous time we've seen a vial was in that poisoning chapter at the dinner, right? One of the poisons was in a vial, but, I mean, there could be so many other poisons in a vial that doesn't mean anything. And yes, why would he have that? Why would he have a poison on him? Was he going to poison someone? Like, what was he doing with that? Like, I assume it broke as he fell or as he got shot. I mean, we still have a bunch of stuff to find, so we've not been everywhere. There is more to understand. Yes, we have the entrance. Become a BTT supporter today. Patron of the arts gets first access to front row tickets and special events. Call the box office to speak to an usher for details. Here's some guy cleaning. I'll do something for your help and your silence. Destroy this note. He did not. It's a theme. Destroy this note. Does not. This is Mason's writing again. I think that's his font. And yeah. That's just a wad of cash he got. So, but Mason's allowed in, right? He's specifically allowed in for the play. So what is he helping with? Because it's not for just, oh, just get me in the building, right? He's already got that secured. It's something else. Solon Prescott's Memorial is reading room. Okay, this is a reading room again, not just the security office. The corkboard is filled with flyers and business cards for various services, including a voice teacher that promises to turn your scream into a skrelt. I'm not sure what the skrelt is. There are various books about theater tech with quippy names such as Sound Advice, Rigging the System, and somehow I Stage Manage. Okay then. A coffee table book called Everything Was Magical, how Storkham wrote foibles. The monitor has been repurposed for screening VHS recordings of previous Birch Tree Theater productions. Nothing stands out. Okay, so it's no longer security. You're just like watching production tapes and stuff like that. And reading is fun. Okay, more places. That's back to the stage. I must be missing, yeah, I must be missing a room because I still have 10 clues to find. So this is the entry hall where Christopher Gardner got killed by the chandelier. The Christopher Gardner Memorial Snack Bar. I mean, sure, yeah, if I died and you were going to name something after me, a snack bar might be appropriate. I do like snacks. Christopher Gardner was a founding member of the Birch Tree Theater, as well as the first president of its board of directors. Originally a power and gas line inspector, Mr. Gardner went on to open Skibble's Shoes in 1948. His wife Ruby was an avid theater lover, and after her passing in 1974, he put his heart and soul into establishing the Birch Tree Theater. Unfortunately, he met his end on the theater's opening night in 1976. A sizable donation in his will went towards refurbishing the lobby, including the outdated lighting fixtures. Yes, the lighting fixtures that killed him, so money well spent. Skrelt is a real world. It's singing something, especially high notes in a theater, in a way that combines screaming and belting. As in belting, you know, okay. As always, coming in with the knowledge. A flyer advertising a summer theater camp for kids called Camp Shakespeare. Although this year's program will focus on a song and dance from the musical Cats, it notes that all species are welcome to apply. Nothing in the flyer pertains to your investigation, however. Okay, we don't get to find out more about the summer camp of cats. It's Hello Girl, that first thing they put on. Yes, music by George Stans and words by Harvey Carroll. Oh, there's a little note. Search the earth beneath your toe, where strings of sinners tend to go. Again, a capital O. Oh, so we're gonna have to be finding those little notes everywhere, so we have to keep an eye out, because we probably already missed a lot. I mean, I missed a lot. A staircase. Okay, here's the office. An empty envelope, okay. So that's where the red notes, red letters are coming from. Someone's here. Someone's here for her appearance. Hello. Gonna say hi. Yep, he is here. She got bored with the shelf. No, please don't pull on my shirt with your claws. Almost got my headset off as well. Yep. The Oz room. This unfinished room in the basement of the Birch Tree Theater was used to store projectors and other film equipment in its movie house days. The room was boarded up and laid untouched for over 20 years, unearthed by stagehands cleaning out the then derelict theater. One remarked, I feel like Dorothy stepping into the land of Oz. The name stuck and the room continues to be used as storage. Yes, so we knew about the Oz room from before. They removed like Mason's pictures from the wall. Huh. This is previously, this was the diary of the wardrobe bunny. I wonder if the code is still Hans. Because that's what the code was in that chapter. No, it's no longer. Yes, it's no longer Hans because I have a note from that, but I guess we have to work it out again. It's not a freebie for remembering what the code was. Opening day at the Birch Tree Cinema, yeah, 29. Yes, that's the original founders. Happy closing, Mr. Dumont. As always, thank you for your leadership as president of the Birch Tree Theater and as a director. I know you heard me say this 1,000 times, but Wuthering Trolley is my favorite musical of all time. So this past few months have been a highlight of my time here. It's not much, but there's a small keepsake which has my favorite lyric from the show. Maybe next season we could do another Cassidy Hilliard show. Hope you will join us on stage for Curtain Call. Okay, so the show has already run. This is like after everything has happened. They have done the show, and this would be when Mason is required to never ever get anywhere near the theater or anyone in it again, right? So this would have been his final appearance and his final chance to do anything. So, and that's why he's doing his whatever he's up to this time. All the best, Jacob Hamming, October 1995. No matter what the world may bring, I'll stick with you through anything. My friend, my companion, my home. Yes, I assume that's the original lyric. Okay, we've got more Answer Man messages.
Hey, Jackie, it's Roger. I know it's not like me to miss a closing night, but for this one, I just gotta sit it out and stay home. You know, I'd rather just put this whole sorry chapter behind us. Plus, I don't want to give that loser the satisfaction of seeing my face in the audience. You know what? I'll try you at work. Bye-bye now.
Hey, Roger or Jackie, it's Laura. Listen, I was going through old files for the 20th anniversary t-shirts, and something seemed odd. A lot of random things are missing. Musician waivers, old bylaw ratifications, opening night gifts. It's going to make finding old signatures for the shirts a lot more complicated. Not to keep harping on this, but maybe the office open door policy isn't such a great idea, okay? Oh, and happy opening.
The package from Mason, he said he had evidence of people doing things and like signed things and whatever that were evidence that they did those crimes. He stole some shit. He stole some shit that had people's signatures and handwriting and whatever, and that's how he's producing the false evidence. So, once again, Mason, you crazy, crazy man. Is that all? I guess they got rid of the snake. They didn't keep it as a pet after the incident. Okay, we can go further up. Okay, the roof. There's a poster for Swally Todd, but we can't click that. Anything in the bin? Anything like... I guess we can just visit, but there's nothing here to do. Because, you know, they're letting us visit all the location around the theater. Although at this point I'm like, if you're gonna make me go to every single room in the building, it would have been nice if there was a map, because I feel like I'm lost. Is there more secret notes hidden in places? Oh, is that what he got money for? Did they pay him to put those notes in places, the red notes? Because yeah, we don't have them. Like, we're missing quite a bunch, so we have to find them in various places. So it's like when it lets us zoom into things. So nothing here. There's nothing interactive here. Okay. That's just them laughing at things. Ah, cell block jazz. Next climb high, as righteous do, a man once got so high, he flew. Oh, is this like... Is it telling us where to go? Yeah, my dear Roger, fetid worm, here's a game to make you squirm. Start where one man's light head trauma set of 20 years ago. Okay, so it's saying, go to the lobby where the snack bar is, find a note. Search the earth beneath your toe, where the strings and sinners tend to go. Okay, so the orchestra bit. I'm getting now what it's saying. And then we're gonna take the letters and put them in the code. Next climb high, as righteous do, a man once got so high he flew. Yeah, so that's referring to the roof. Because they were saying like, oh yeah, the Charles, he got on the roof and got so high he flew. Haha. Okay, there is a note here. An evening spoiled, a scheming nut. Okay, so previously I was trying to click this poster and it wouldn't let me because I didn't have the clue for it. A hatch wide open, slamming shut. A hatch wide open, slamming shut. Where did we have something? Because it will refer to the previous events. What was there to do with a hatch? Because there wasn't a hatch on stage. That's the snack bar. Anything here? That's just them laughing. An evening spoiled as scheming. Oh, is it the dumpster? I just have to figure out how to get outside in this maze of clicking through things. Because it was like there was a bathroom and we could go through the bathroom window. Yes, this definitely needed a map of some sort because I'm just like, how you expect me to know where that is? Okay, to the side here. And then we can go around the dumpster. Anything here? Actually not. So I guess not here. Dumpster sounded like a good idea, but I don't see anything here. A hatch wide open, slamming shut. Because we need 4 more clues, like 4 more things to find, which I assume some of this might be those things. Yeah, an evening spoiled, like, the other one referred to the cases, so I'm just like, what case would we have where that was appropriate? This is just the altered lyrics that just sound like, yes, he's going to take revenge on everyone. So yeah, then we have letters from it, right? Like, the different lines are tied to letters, but I probably we want to get everything first. So it's not the dumpster. There's nothing extra to click here. Nothing extra in this bathroom. Anything hiding around those notes? No. No. Nothing here in the backstage. Nothing on the stage. There wasn't any sort of hatch on the stage. Yes, it could be anything from earlier. I'm just trying to think, like, what does the hatch mean? Right? Like, where we had anything that involved a hatch of anything. So we had a thing in here. That was the first clue. This is the office. Yeah, and we had a thing in the orchestra pit, right? Because search the earth beneath your toe where the strings of sinners tend to go, right? And then we got the next climb high. So that was the orchestra pit clue, and we already got the clue in there. So we had the lobby. Like, I'm trying to, you know, map this out in my head because there are so many locations. We've been to the lobby where the snack bar is. We've been to the orchestra pit. Then we went to the roof. And then we have the whatever the goddamn hatch is. I assume there is no hatch in the office. And I mean, it was then marked as clickable, so it's not like it's a hidden interaction. We just have to search the rooms. And that's what we did the roof. So roof is done. Like, I'm trying to think of a best way to, like, map the locations, because you can get locked here. So we have the roof here at the top. We can go down from the roof to the stairs. Then to the left of the stairs is the office. And then we can only go... Yes, nowhere else from the office back to the stairs. Then we can go down. That takes us to the snack bar. From the snack bar, we can go to the right. That takes us to the lobby. From the lobby, we can go up to security. Or the reading room. No longer security. Or we can go down. That takes us to stage. No, like, hatches here. And we can go below to orchestra. I'm making a little map. Okay. The stage still has this side to get backstage. I've run out of room. Put it on the side of the paper. And up from here. I need a new page because I made a mess. Just trying to map this out. Okay. Stage. Orchestra. Sorry if this is taking a while, but... like, we're gonna be running around blind unless I know where we can go. Roof. And then above the backstage we've got the dressing. And from the dressing we've got the shower room. Or down from the shower we've got the dumpster. That is a lot of rooms. And we still got... Okay, up from here is to the lobby. Okay, so I think... No, there's still Oz. Yes, we still have Oz here. Next to the orchestra. But... there is no, like, hatch here either. Or nothing, like... Eventually, I guess there might be something here, because right now nothing is interactive, right? So I assume eventually something will become interactive once we've found the clue. But right now there is nothing. Okay, so we've already had a thing on the roof. We already had a thing at the snack bar. We had a thing in the orchestra pit. And that's it. So, I mean, out of those rooms, the dumpster is still my top guess. Right? Like, for a hatch, although I'm not sure how it spoils an evening. And I mean, now we've gone through every single room that we've seen. And we didn't see any extra interactable, right? Because it would have shown up as an extra interactable. So... am I missing a room? Is that the problem here? That there is some connection I haven't found? Was anyone a nuthatch bird? I am not sure. An evening spoiled, a scheming nut. A hatch wide open, slamming shut. So one room, or like one area, we have seen before in scenarios, but I haven't seen now. Yes, it's a real... Okay, it's a real beard and words are next to each other. Okay. Actually, there were a couple places. One was the other side backstage, right? Because we get to see this backstage, or like the side stage. But there was another side stage area, right? The one with the staircase. So that was on this side, but we can't go to this side. And there was another one where the rigging is, right? So that's also not accessible in this. The first thing I thought is the singer getting poisoned. Yes, that's also what I was thinking about, but that took place in a restaurant that is not part of the theater, right? That was at the tavern that I assume we don't have access to here, unless there is a way to like leave, go outside in the city and go to the tavern. Because yeah, at this point I'm like, am I missing a room or something? Because like in the rooms we have, nothing new has appeared. Because we could even see it like that, right? One room would have something new in it. But currently nothing does, so... Is there a room I somehow haven't found? Oh yes, there is a room named after her. That's the reading room. But it just comes up with this, right? It doesn't let us actually... Doesn't actually let us inspect the individual items. It just gives us descriptions of those things. What's the left of orchestra pit? It is... the Oz. So it is the Oz room. It will be for something, but there is nothing there. Because yeah, there is nothing new here in the stage, like in the audience or anything like that. There is nothing new in this backstage that we can now look at. Because everything else... Yeah, so that just tells us it's to floor to dressing room. From here we can just go back down. Again, nothing new in here. And this goes to the bathroom. And then the bathroom has nothing new. Goes outside to the dumpster. Where he is all beaten up. He doesn't have any notes on him. He has a hairpin and a tattoo. And he's bleeding. Someone should probably call someone about that. Yeah, that just comes up with the text again, nothing to inspect. We can't go towards the toilets and like wrap around. That's also not available to us right now. Again, that's also just turned into text, so nothing to inspect. Plus we got a note from the poster already. And there isn't like a left here or anything like that, even though it could potentially be, because it's open on that side. Oh, maybe on something we've already been able to click. Yes, okay. So pictures in the office. I don't see anything new here. Again, nothing new on the Oz room. That's the answering machine. That's the envelope. I assume he left this here for the current board president to find this. As like, hey, I did a thing. You better see this. And I mean, it is open, so even though there was an answering machine saying like, oh, I can't come, I can't, like, I don't want him to see me. Someone did open this envelope and saw the first note, I guess, because like there isn't anything here. There's still this. And the password was not Hans, right? What's that all about? Because there aren't any clues to this. Because we might be missing stuff because we haven't opened this either. So here, what would we be doing? We would be picking capital letters. 2 pair, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There could be like 5, 6. Because like if we pick all capitals, so it would be like M, and then A, then S, O, and Mason. Wilder? Is that the password? Yes. But then, no, it's yeah, W-A, but then T? Water? It's water. Basin water. So we spoke at length about this whole water situation here, right? Where who would leave their water unsupervised in this place? Something would happen, right? So it's like, presumably something to do with Mason's water, but until we crack that, it won't let us click. I mean, I could just enter Mason water, but that feels like I'm skipping steps because I'm missing the clues. I would like to find the clues. I mean, let's see. Let's see if what happens if I enter this, because I think it's water. Okay, yeah, that solves it. Mason water. So I mean, we didn't need all the clues, but it would have been nice. It would have been nice if we could have found them. Oh, and now the water is interactable. The label in front of this bottle reads Mason. And yes, there is something in the water. Like little bits. And when we look at him, right, with this whole vial, there's also little bits in this vial. So whatever is in this vial is also in his water. Poison? Did he poison himself? What? Because that... Here, right? I swear I didn't shoot him, Jacob. He just dropped dead. Which could be explained by poisoning rather than him being shot. But then, why is there a hole in him and why is he bleeding? If he poisoned himself as part of having revenge of everyone, why tell anyone? That is a good question. I don't know. I don't know yet. I mean, the potential for that is he didn't poison himself, right? Someone else poisoned him. But then why does he have the vial that contains whatever is in his water? Because, you know, otherwise how does that connect? And if he just dropped dead, like, did he drop dead, but then he shoots him anyway because he's trying to cover up for his lover? Oh, because he finds this. No, okay, so Roger doesn't come. Roger decides to just not be here for the night. He doesn't want to see Mason. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. And he finds this note for Roger. Yes, I do. I would like to find those clues, but I'm just like, I don't understand that hatch thing. But if we're missing a whole room, then that's gonna mess the whole situation up. Why did someone leave this note for Roger? What do they want him to find and why? Unrelated, maybe, Epiphany lyrics. What is he planning to do? Confront it after the show. Okay, so this is him being like, someone left this for Roger. What they want him to find and why. So he figures out that Mason is up to something, goes to confront him in the dressing room. That's why Jacob is here. That's why Jacob comes here, but also his boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever, comes here, right, to also confront him for destroying his life. That's what this note was about. Here's the thing, right? Even if we wanted to solve the whole situation, we're still missing 4 clues. Because we have 46 out of 50. So there is still something somewhere I've not clicked on. So I'm just like, what am I missing? It feels like I found every room, I found every note, and yet somehow I have not. Yeah, I mean, this is like, wait in bathroom with him, hear him close the dressing room. Like, this is very, like, stage direction, and all that stuff. And also, I just got an achievement for taking over an hour in a level, and the achievement was called, should have made a hint system. Hey game, are you suggesting I'm stuck? Yes, because this sounds very like stage direction, wait for this, you know, let him speak, all that stuff, and then like a whole speech to say. But then like, where are the 4 words I am missing? Because that's going to be a problem for actually solving the whole thing. Clicked on here, clicked on here. Are we back? Are we not back? Hello? Is this thing working? Chat might be disconnected. So even if people are saying it's working, then I can't see that they're saying it's working. Okay. I think it's back. So yes, for added drama, my internet goes like, wouldn't it be funny if your connection dropped? Not funny. Not funny, internet. Hopefully, it will be fine, but if I drop again, you know what to blame. So anyway, yes, I was going on about the Oz room being suspicious because there's nothing in it right now, but probably there would have been something in it if we were able to get more clues for that little clue hunt. We were already rechecking the office. There was nothing new in there. We found a clue here. Yeah, okay. I mean, yes, the reading room, suspicious. Right, because it would be related to the woman that dropped dead at the dinner. Oh! This goddamn poster is clickable. Because it mentions the Lakeside Tavern, so you were right, you were right. Elude the yellow brick purveyor. There's a liar neath that layer. Yellow brick, so like yellow brick road, so we're going to Oz. Okay, so yes, you were right along about the room the entire time. I somehow did not click the poster. Okay. We're unstuck. Yes, we're going to Oz. Okay. Oh, nothing looks interactive Interesting. So it doesn't get interactive just as we have the clue? Elude the yellow brick purveyor. There's a liar underneath that layer. Okay. But yes, I don't see a clicky symbol here at all. So it's like, it doesn't show up. The clicky symbol's hidden. We're being, you know, made to actually pixel hunt. Yes, I have to just go clicking. Witness now the final clue. The Dark Lord Onyx left for you. The letter first, the letter last of 5 loose pliers. Solve it fast. Okay. Interesting. Because this says Dark Lord Onyx left for you. So we've done what it says, right? We've done the 5 letter, it's Mason water. But this saying that the Dark Lord Onyx left this for you, this implies that Mason didn't leave those clues. This implies that this was mentioned here. Demon King named Onyx. He's saying Roger Dumont, yes, he's addicted to marijuana. It brings out in him his alter ego demon kid named Onyx. But we know everything in this document is a lie, which means it's not Onyx, it's Oxic. This means the notes are staged to look as if Roger wrote them, not as if they're for Roger. Because him here is making a note like, why did someone leave this note for Roger? But here it seems to imply that, you know, Mason is writing this to frame Roger, and that explains the water. Mason is trying to make it seem as if Roger poisoned him. Layer is odd with the capital R. Yes, I mean, that was what we would have used already, right? Because it would have been E and R for the code. But we've pre-entered that because it already looked like water. And then in 6 there wasn't anything because that was just how to put it together. But we're just so smart. We knew what was going on. Yes, we've worked it out. We've played so many of those things, like you can't just hide random capital letters and we pretend we don't see it. So yes, Mason was trying to frame Roger for poisoning him, but was he actually intending to die? Like, was this his final, like, I die, but I take you all with me? Because, let's see, this altered lyrics. Below her, she says I'm below her. Just a tarnished fool to blame and stepping stool to fame. That's talking about Cassidy. He's like, you know, she left to be famous on Broadway, left me behind, stepped over me. I let them scar me, well, they'll be sorry. Every greedy, vile foe bears the guilt of my death blow. Yes, so he's like, I go out, but all of you, I'll take you all down. I will show the world that you're also evil and you done evil things even though it's all a lie. Well, drag them all through hell before I go, yes. So he intends to kill himself, but also just implicate everyone else. Okay, so I think... No, we still have 46 out of 50 clues. Why am I missing words? Oh, because I haven't opened the thing. I know. Yes. The log journal. It's not Hans. Because why would it be? Why would they have the same journal from the wardrobe lady? What can it be? Like, there is nothing else in this room that refers to this journal, right? Let's listen to some...
Hey, Jackie, it's Roger. I know it's not like me to miss a closing night, but for this one, I just gotta sit it out and stay home. You know, I'd rather just put this whole sorry chapter behind us. Plus, I don't want to give that loser the satisfaction of seeing my face in the audience. You know what? I'll try you at work.
Okay, so that just him saying he's not coming, that's... Oh, is it Oxic, right? His secret alter ego name. Yeah, yes it is. Cartopedia, the CD-ROM encyclopedia. Atropa belladonna. Belladonna's coming back, most often referred to as belladonna. It's highly toxic perennial herbaceous plant in the nightshade family. It is native to Europe and Western Asia and has been introduced to regions of North Africa, Canada, the United States. The foliage and the berries of the plant are extremely toxic when ingested and even be harmful to the touch. Toxins include atropine, scopolamine, and hyoscyamine, which can cause delirium, hallucinations, and in largest doses, death. These toxins generally take effect 10-15 minutes following ingestion. Click to return. Yes, so he left stuff in here to say Roger did it, right? Roger poisoned him. But that's still, we're still short 2 words. So it wasn't all 4 words in here. And yes, there's vial with bits in here as well. I mean, we don't always need all the words, so we can try to fill it in and see if we're missing anything that's important. So, Mason planned to frame Roger by putting belladonna in his water bottle. And drinking it after the curtain call, so it would take effect soon after the show ended, or maybe before curtain call, right? No, after. He also intended to frame someone else for his, so he planted I think it's frame. Plan to frame Roger by putting blood in its water bottle and drinking it before curtain call, so it would take effect soon after. Is this not... This sentence might be... He planned to kill Mason. It's a bit weird expression. But it might be like... They're trying to lead us to think that someone else killed someone else. Mason planned to kill Mason by putting belladonna in his water bottle and drinking it before curtain calls, so it would take effect soon after the show ended. Because then we have, he also intended to frame Roger for his murder. So he planted belladonna in the... office, the president's office, and left a series of clues from the Demon King, Ousting, that led to someone's something. That led to Roger's that led to Mason's water bottle. He hoped someone would, and someone would. Well, he left it for Roger, right? He left it in his office. Roger was supposed to find it, but he didn't come. He hoped Roger would inspect the clues and someone would something. And think he did it. Or he hoped that Roger would inspect the water bottle and someone would call, confront, drink, frame, haired, inspect, kill, poison, repay, shoot, stay home, steal, take effect, take rid. I'm not sure what the word would be. Like someone would see, witness, like that might be a word we're missing. Someone would like witness Roger inspecting the water bottle. The water bottle is appearing too many times. This is too suspicious. It might be intended to lay to Mason's corpse. Maybe. Let's... And then think he... But it's it, right? It's not like killed him. It's like, it would say inspecting the water bottle and think he poisoned it. Although yes, he hoped Roger would inspect the water bottle and someone would something like witness Roger inspecting the water bottle. That's kind of like says the same thing. And think he poisoned it. I mean, that part makes sense. However, Roger didn't find the note or the clues because he decided to stay home. When Mason entered his dressing room after the show, someone was waiting with a something to talk to him about something during the exchange. He died from that. Sooner after entered because he was concerned after hearing someone something. Someone panicked and escaped out of the window because that's the whole scene at the back. Okay, so that might be the Jacob Hamming taking the blame. So when Mason entered his dressing room after the show, Kenny was waiting with a gun to take revenge, no, to something. Confront him about not repaying his loyalty. That's what it kind of said in that note. During the exchange, Mason died from the belladonna. Soon after, Jacob entered because he was concerned after hearing Kenny's something. Maybe he screamed. Kenny panicked and escaped out of the bathroom window. Jacob, thinking Kenny has somehow killed Mason, decided to shoot the gun so he would take the blame instead. Because that's what's going on here, right? Like, Jacob's trying to protect Kenny because Kenny's already in trouble. Okay, and then Samantha walked in to find the aftermath. The gun was aired. That's what we did in the tutorial, right? The gun was aired by Samantha, who walked in to find the aftermath. So that still happened. It's just there was a much bigger run up to the whole situation that was happening. Okay, so I'm fairly okay with the ending here. I'm okay with what's going on here, right? Like the events at the towards the end. What is a lot more messy is this first part. Mason planned to kill Mason. That's a bit awkward, but there were things like that in Idol where, you know, sometimes you would have an awkward sentence just to throw you a bit, thinking that, you know, it was one person doing something to another person, but it's actually the same person doing it. So they may have gone for something like that as well. By putting belladonna in his water bottle and drinking it before curtain calls so it would take effect soon after the show ended. At least that makes sense, like, he's poisoning himself. He also intended to frame Roger for his murder, so he planted belladonna in the president's office and left a series of clues from the Demon King Ousting that led to Mason's water bottle. Makes sense. But then the next part, right? He hoped Roger would inspect the water bottle. Maybe. It's definitely Roger. But I don't have a better word that inspect the water bottle. And someone would do something. Could be Mason planning to kill himself, yes, but we have to enter a name here. So it's like, yes, he planned to kill himself, but the sentence becomes, oh, there is himself. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, because typically the yellow stuff I would expect names, and there is a himself. I've totally missed that. Good spotting. That makes more sense as a sentence, so that's fixed. But yes, what is going on down here? He hoped Roger would inspect the water bottle. Okay, maybe. And someone would see Roger inspecting the water bottle. Like, that's a very awkward sentence. And think he poisoned it. Yes, we're still short 2 words that I didn't find, which is bothering me because it feels like whatever goes in here might be one of the words. And then he didn't find the clues because he decided to stay home. Okay. I guess we're gonna have to go through the pain, I apologize, of like trying to find the... Yes. Trying to find a word, right? So we're looking for like yellow clicky things, yellow words I didn't click. So I think nothing in the office. I have searched it. There was nothing in the staircase that you can read. There was nothing in the room that you can, in the roof that you can read other than this, right? And those things do not give words. Could be another thing not showing. I mean, it could be, but then what would lead us there, right? So nothing on the roof. Yeah, we could try to put a word in to see, like, what happens. Like, confront. Yeah, 2 or more, like, we're probably wrong about, like, some of the specific words, but this will be wrong as well because, like, I would think it would be something like see or witness or something like that to make this up. So nothing on the roof that we can see, nothing in the staircase that we can see. We've clicked all this. There was no words here. I'm just wild clicking at anything that looks clickable. No words here, no words here. No words here. Those are not clickable. Nothing clickable on this note. Nothing clickable on the money. He has something in his pocket, but that's not clickable. This room. Nothing clickable on the poster, on this note. Nothing clickable on this. We've clicked this. We've clicked this. Nothing more. There is absolutely nothing on the stage, right? Can't click any of those things here. Nothing clickable here. We've got this note, nothing clickable on it. The other poster, not clickable. Pianos, sheet music, instruments. None of this is clickable. Then the words in this exchange, we have clicked it all. In the Oz room, we had the mannequin. But that was the only interactable thing. Yes, it's cool that there's more idol likes coming out, like with this sort of, like, especially with original stories, right? Because, yes, like the setting of this has been really cool, and the story has been quite intriguing. And yes, the idol style games do really give you the, oh yes, you can explore and you can, you know, you can tell lots of stories this way, and you can, yes, have this kind of put it together adventure. It's just that, like, even Idol, right? In the second Idol, they added a lot of things to, like, improve the experience, but even there is not always perfect. And then this has a much more basic interface than the newer idols. So like, you know, you can't organize your words, you can't organize your windows. And yes, I think especially this scenario, it is absolutely packed, right? It is absolutely packed. It has so many locations. It probably has more locations than any idle scenario I had to deal with, as far as I can tell, which makes it now incredibly hard to go through everything and be like, oh yeah, where did I miss a thing? They also have a problem that we've already spotted, like previous, I think, first stream, is that if you clicked on the top level thing, but then you didn't click on the things inside, the top level thing shows as if it's already been seen, right? Which means even though this is red, that doesn't tell us that everything inside of it has been clicked, which idle deals with that, right? I'm pretty sure in idle, the top level interactable doesn't stop sparkling until after you collected everything inside, which means that's why we have to kind of go and now try and re-click everything, because can't even tell at a glance where something could be hiding. Okay, so we've looked at... Okay. Found that the two words you have are usually the ones that everyone else has trouble with. They don't show up easy. Okay, so they are kind of hidden, like in something. So I think we've looked at backstage and the dressing room. Are they like something that we have to click that it's not marked as an interactable? Slightly buggy, okay. Okay, well, because, yes, like, I would say, you know, we're almost there and it's been a while, so at this point, like, if you want to tell me what room am I supposed to look in, that would probably, you know, ease our pain, because at this point, this isn't, like, detectiving, it's just clicking. Yeah, like, if you tell me the room, yes, I appreciate that you're trying not to spoil that a thing that you have read on the internet. I do appreciate that a lot, because yes, it when people come in and it's like, oh, I've read the guide or whatever, and they just tell you everything, obviously that's not fun. But, you know, when we're like stuck and things are not working, then yes, this helps. But yes, the only thing here so far has been the mannequin. There is this box of things. There is the carpets, rugs that they used for dead bodies, boxes of whatever, mannequin heads and bread. There is a bin. I'm clicking furiously on everything. Letters, this door thing, this painting. Oh yes, I wasn't saying you're looking things up all the time. I'm saying, you know, sometimes it feels like in like streams I watch sometimes of other people, like people are coming in the chat and immediately within 5 seconds of the streamer not getting something, they're like, hey, it's supposed to be this thing and whatever. Like, I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm saying that I've seen it happen a bunch, and I appreciate that, you know, we haven't really had that as a too much of a problem. Like, I've been trying to click on everything in here, like this hall, the bin, because there's like a piece of paper in the bin I can't do anything with. Let me go to, hopefully it's not gonna reset our level. Let me try level select to see if I can maybe like fix the game or something. Hopefully it didn't. Yes, it didn't restart everything. Okay. So a little magnifying glass appears when we went over the thing. Okay. I've tried clicking on everything in this goddamn room. And it's not this note, right? Yeah, it even kept what we filled in here. So go back to... Oh my god. Are you serious? There is a red clicking point on a red note. No. No. Bad game designer. Bad. You don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Now we have all the words. Okay, and one of the words we did get is witness. So that would make sense with the sentence I was trying to make, and someone would witness Roger inspecting the water bottle and think he poisoned it. So that makes sense to me. Just the rest of the sentence is awkward. He hoped Roger would inspect the water bottle and someone would witness Roger inspecting the water bottle and think they poisoned it. So I don't think it would inspect water bottle here. I think he would solve the clues and someone would witness Roger inspecting the water bottle and think he poisoned it. Yes, it didn't even there wasn't even words to click. By everything else, we always had to click the words, right? It was just oh, and the words appear. Such a weird mechanic to just add to the end of the whole game, right? Okay, but we still have to fix our sentences. Mason planned to kill himself. I think we're agreed. By putting belladonna in his water bottle and drinking it before curtain call. So it would take effect soon after the show ended. Potentially I have this timing wrong. Where did I even get that from? That's just him framing other people. Because it said that the belladonna would take time to take effect, right, in the notes in the office. Yeah, it takes 10-15 minutes following ingestion. So it feels like he would take it before curtain call, so he would take effect after the show ended. Oh, last water break before the finale. Okay. Let me get back to the room. Because yeah, I remember reading that in the tutorial. Yes, brighter days ahead. Last water break before the finale. So, okay, before... But there isn't any... Other than curtain call, I don't see a different word here to insert into the instead of the curtain call. Yeah, that does look like Mason's handwriting font. I think so. So that would make sense that he would write that, right? You know, drink it here, because that's the last chance we get. But yes, therefore, before curtain call still makes sense. So it would take effect soon after the show ended. He also intended to frame Roger for his murder, so he planted Belladonna in the president's office and left a series of clues from the Demon King Ousting. That led to Mason's water bottle. He hoped Roger would solve the clues. Maybe, because we don't have like followed, right? We only have solve that would go with this. Let me move myself so you can actually see all the words. Like we don't need anything in this corner anymore. And this way you can also you can also see all the word selections. That led to Mason's water bottle. He hoped Roger would solve the clues and someone would witness Roger inspecting the water bottle and think he poisoned it. I mean, that makes sense to me now. Like that works as a sentence. Roger didn't find the clues because he decided to stay home. Yeah, that also makes sense. When Mason entered his dressing room after the show, Kenny was waiting with a gun to confront him about not repaying his loyalty. Was he waiting with a gun? I mean, there is a gun, and I don't think Jacob brought it. So, During the exchange, Mason died from the belladonna. Maybe put water bottle instead of clue. Oh, Roger didn't find the water bottle here. He decided to stay home. I mean, it didn't change anything. That means probably we have more than two, right? Multiple things are wrong, so right now we're not tipping the balance at all. So yeah, it could be clues. Yeah, he did have a gun. Repaying his loyalty makes sense. During the exchange, Mason died from the belladonna. Soon after, Jacob entered because he was concerned after hearing Kenny's something. I mean, again, scream makes sense, right? He sees a guy drop dead, so maybe he's screaming. Kenny panicked and escaped out of the bathroom window. Jacob, thinking Kenny had somehow killed Mason, decided to shoot the gun so he would take the blame instead. The gun was heard by Samantha, who walked in on the aftermath. Her name is Samantha, right? I didn't... Yeah, Samantha Keller collects the wardrobe. So that for sure is true. So, looking through the words, there was nothing about Cassidy in his story. Himself we used for kill himself. Jacob was used because he was the one that fires the gun. But it wasn't like we saw in the first thing. You fire a gun, you only shoot at. It doesn't work well by itself. Oh, we have... Yeah, decided to shoot... Yeah, shoot the gun. Yeah, maybe not. Confront, ring frame. Inspect. Kill, poison, repay, shoot, solve, stay home, steal, take effect, take revenge, teach, and witness. Because here we need to have the light reward, right? So he didn't like shoot Mason. That wouldn't fit here. Shoot the corpse. Yeah, he shot the corpse so he would take the blame instead. The gun was heard by Samantha, who walked in to find the aftermath. The sound was heard by Samantha, who walked in and found the aftermath. Yeah, the problem is because we have 2 or more slots filled in correctly, it's like anytime we change something, we don't know whether we're making it better or worse. Actually, this one is interesting because I think if we go to level select and we go all the way to the start, we can check our homework basically. Right, because we can go here and here we had Mason Wilder was shot by Jacob Hamming. Obviously, we know there's more details to prevent him from revealing crimes of the board. The sound was heard by Samantha Keller, who walked in to find the aftermath. So yes, here the sentence, the sound was heard. Cheating of our own homework. Yes, hopefully we're improving it, because if not, then it's a problem. So yeah. Let's say the sound was heard by Samantha, who walked in to find the aftermath. Yeah, so much information, so many things. Yes. Yes, too much. It's getting to that point of like, there is so many things, and it's probably getting to that thing that also would eventually happen in idle, the actual idle games, where sometimes the things were too close to each other, right? Like the potential for putting certain words in where it still made sense because you expressed it one way, but they wanted you to use the slightly different word for something, that can also catch you. So yes, we might be like in those deep weeds of like, it makes sense when you read it, but we could have been more or less specific. Feels like Idol would have split this a few different sections. Maybe, maybe not. Weirdly, like with the last Idol, right? There was this thing where on consoles, it had more sections sometimes than on PC because they couldn't fit it all in the window. So you get to do things in smaller sections. I don't think it happened a lot, but I think I've seen like at least one example of that where on PC you had to do a bigger chunk than on console that was split into 2. Yes, but it feels like, yes, like this could have been 2 separate sections at least. Because right now it's like we're trying to find the smallest mistake in this sea of text. Mason planned to kill himself. Yes, belladonna, water bottle, drink it before curtain call. So it would take effect soon after the show ended. That makes sense. He also intended to frame Roger for his murder. So planted belladonna in president's office. Left a series of clues from the Demon King on it. I mean, I could be wrong here, but then again, the clues literally say, witness now the final clue that Dark Lord Oxic left for you, right? That literally says here, it was from the Dark Lord Ousting. Demon King. That led to Mason's water bottle. He hoped Roger would solve the clues. We don't have anything else like follow the clues or anything like that. Does Ousting maybe mean something? I'm not sure. Like, he used it in his faked evidence, right? He basically says it here that Roger is using theater to launder money. Investigate him, search his office for clues, right? He's literally pointing at, go to his office and search for clues because, you know, I hid the belladonna there. He's mentally unwell as has hated me ever since Casimir. He's addicted to marijuana. He once claimed it brings out in him a hidden alter ego demon king named Ousting, who's capable of crazy violent things, right? So he's basically setting up Roger for his murder very much so. That led to Mason's water bottle. Yes, that makes sense. He hoped Roger would solve the clues and someone would witness Roger inspecting the water bottle and think he poisoned it. However, Roger didn't find the clues because he decided to stay home. Yeah. Yes. We could change Roger didn't. Yeah, would inspect the water bottle. I think we had that before. The reason I changed it was because the sentence was weird, right? Because it goes then, he hoped Roger would inspect the water bottle and someone would witness Roger inspecting water bottle and think he poisoned it, right? Then the sentence is just having inspect the water bottle twice. So that's why solve the clues seem to make it flow better. At least to me, that seemed better than having inspect water bottle twice. Yeah, however, Roger didn't find the clues because he decided to stay home. I mean, he did. That's what it said. When Mason entered his dressing room after the show, Kenny was waiting with a gun to confront him. Like, we have take revenge, but then it doesn't work with the rest of the sentence. Teach you a lesson about loyalty, though. It says that specifically. But here it's to confront him about not repaying his loyalty. To teach him about not repaying his loyalty seems like that would be an odd sentence. Yeah. So I think confront, again, confront makes more sense. Not repaying. Is there anything else? Not something. Not... No, there's nothing else that makes sense for not something is something, right? It's very much about the loyalty. During the exchange, Mason died from the belladonna. Soon after, Jacob entered because he was concerned after hearing Kenny's... I have scream because what else could have happened? Right, what else could he have done other than screamed? We don't have anything else here that would make sense. Kenny panicked and escaped out of the bathroom window. Jacob thinking Kenny had somehow killed Mason. Oh, maybe Mason screamed. Oh, okay, okay. One slot. There's one word that is wrong. Kenny panicked, escaped out the bathroom window. Jacob thinking Kenny had somehow killed Mason decided to shoot the corpse. So he would take the blame instead. The sound was heard by Samantha, who walked in to find the aftermath. No, because now Mason's scream makes sense, right? That he was after hearing Mason scream. That makes sense. So I think that the scream wouldn't change. Belladonna's side effects. Let's go and read. We have to take the wrong way to there. Can cause delirium, hallucination, and death. Yeah, it was Kenny's gun. Kenny brought this. Yeah, so he was there just tripping, right? Soon after, Jacob entered because he was concerned after hearing Mason scream. Kenny panicked and escaped out the bathroom window. Jacob, thinking Kenny had somehow killed Mason, decided to shoot the corpse. I mean, we could change it back to gun, but no, that makes it work. Okay, so this is corpse. So you would take the blame instead. The sound was heard. I assume it's not the gun. Well, at least now we can test the words by just having it do that. Roger didn't find the water bottle. Didn't find the water bottle. Nope. That makes it worse. So it is blues here. Kenny's scream? No, it's Mason's scream. Oh, I know. Mason planned to poison himself? No! No. I was like, oh, that may be it. No, it's kill himself. Was it a scream at all? Well, I mean, we can quickly test that, right? If we like change the scream to something else. Oh, interesting. Okay, so if we change the scream to something else, it doesn't get worse. So it is the scream then. So soon after, Jacob entered because he was concerned after hearing Mason. What? Alternate lyrics? What? What? All the other corrections, I'm like, yeah, okay, makes sense. Wasn't the whole thing with the alternative lyrics, you know, that everyone knew he was going to do that? Mason Wilder decided to end his own life after the final performance of the Birch Tree Theater production of Wuthering by taking poison before the curtain call. He left behind a trove of false evidence to implicate various board members in a variety of crimes. He also planted clues intended to frame current board president Roger Dumont for his murder. But instead, only one was found by Jacob Hamming, who suspected something when Mason sang different lyrics on stage. Oh, okay, you mean like that. It doesn't mean that it was different. He heard the alternative lyrics from the dressing room. It means during the finale, he did different lyrics where he was basically singing about how he's gonna take revenge on everyone. And Jacob then decides, oh, I'm gonna see him after the show to see about that. From that sentence structure, that was not clear at all, right? Because it seemed like there was a series of events. Like there was a series of events of Kenny was in the room with Mason, things were happening, and then Jacob was concerned. It seemed to it wasn't connected to the right kind of context for me. When Jacob went to confront him, Mason was already dead from the poison, and standing over his body was Kenny Giles, Jacob's troubled ex. Kenny, confused and panicked, escaped by jumping out of a window. Jacob, thinking of his and Kenny's favorite song from Wuthering, decided to shoot Mason's dead body so that he would take the blame for the murder instead of Kenny. Okay, so Mason was going to kill himself. He was just going to take everyone down with him, right? He was... It was all like... Mason decided, yes, if I can't have the theater, if I can't have the fame, then none of you can. All of you will suffer. All of you will be in trouble. Theater rocked by scandal following tragedy. Following the tragic killing of beloved local actor Mason Wilder. Again, in death. After all he's done. He's still beloved local actor. Mason Wilder, 43, at the Birch Tree Theater last Sunday. A string of evidence and allegation left by Mr. Wilder has resulted in the arrest of several theater board members, past and present. Frank Hedrin, Laura Levin, and Antonia Sui have each been brought up on separate murder charges. Few details have emerged, but a spokesperson for City Police says that Mr. Wilder's posthumous evidence could shed light on past deaths that were previously determined to be accidental. It remains unclear whether or not the alleged murders are connected to Mr. Wilder's own, to which castmate Jacob Humming confessed late Sunday night. Since the Birch Tree Theater opened 20 years ago, it has been a home for crowd-pleasing productions and tragedies alike. This new findings cast a shadow on the theater's history, and its future appears to be uncertain. Okay, so he got away with it. Right? In the end, all of his schemes and manipulations and everything he's done, he got away with it, and he got all of the, like, Cassidy, whatever, right? She was involved. She was involved in at least one of the murders, so she deserves a justice to come for her. But some of them were completely innocent, so, you know, the fact that he gets to do that. Mason Wilder, a son of Edward and Cookie Wilder, beloved local actor and teacher, passed following a performance at the Birch Tree Theater. He had been playing the role of Heathcliff in musical Wuthering, his last of many leading roles on stage. Mason devoted his life to the theater, first appearing in Piece of Work at age 9. He pursued dramatic studies at GNU, but left before completing his degree. Shortly after, he became a staple in Birch Tree Theater productions and eventually served as president of the board. Mason is survived by his doting mother Cookie, the countless students he mentored, and a community of grieving theater lovers. Dear Miss Hilliard, I don't know if you remember me, but I was in the production of Bakery that you attended a few years ago at Birch Tree. I had a couple lines as the enthusiastic croissant customer. You're also probably aware by now of who I am and what I did, so I wanted to apologize to you personally for what happened to Mr. Wilder. I know this must be hard for you. If there's anything your lyrics taught me is that love never leaves you. That's why Heathcliff is the way he is, right? Because he loves Catherine no matter what. Same with Linton and Kathy in My Home Reprise. Their lyrics make a vow that transcends times and space. Maybe death even. My Linton's still out there, and I hope he's okay. It's a shame about Mr. Dumont and the other board members. I read that your charges were dropped, so that's good news. Okay, so of all the people, right, Cassidy gets away with it. She doesn't get in trouble for the actual killings she was involved in. Anyway, I wish I had gotten the chance back then to tell you how much your work means to me, but hopefully this letter will suffice. I look forward to your next project, whatever that may be. Jacob Hamming. Yes, he's taking the blame even though he didn't even kill Mason. Okay.
This one is called Theatrically Yours. I think it'll go in Act 2. Take 1. We watch the curtain fall. They turn the work lights on. And tomorrow when I call, it'll all be gone. I know it's just a play. We acted parts with hearts made out of clay. But I'll always stay theatrically yours. It started with a song. You sang perfectly in tune. I tried to sing along. I came in too soon.
I'm just letting the song go and then we can chat.
I think we could have made it work somehow. Hard to see it now, theatrically yours. Did I stumble? Did I drop a line or miss a cue? Did I dream it? All the things you said I meant to you. We fit together. We harmonized. But now our story has been revised. The laughs we could have shared, the wine we could have drank, the souls we could have bared, the pages now are blank. I thought that someday you'd be mine. Now I'm stage center, calling line. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. But I know that every day I'll think of you. We take our curtain call. We smile and bow, then turn and walk away. But I will always stay theatrically yours. If life is but a play, I can make believe I'll stay theatrically yours.
There we go. We get a beautiful song to finish it up. Yes, I think this is supposed to be like, obviously this is Cassidy with someone else. I don't think we know who the dog is. I think it's very much like, it's just some guy, right? It's not Dan, Dan's dead. So it's supposed to be like, in theory she's moved on, but obviously the song is Theatrically Yours, which is how Mason would sign his notes, his letters, whatever. And this whole song is about like, oh yeah, well, she still has some regrets, she has some longing, like the note that it was written to her, like, you know, love stays with you, transcends it all and stuff like that. So that was her kind of you know, still dwelling on it, still being like, oh, but what if I didn't just leave him behind? What if we stayed together? Although, you know, it just feels like she would have gotten into more crime because Mason was just unstoppable, right? He just was not going to stop doing all the crimes until it brought him down, basically. So she would have gone down with him if she stayed. It wouldn't be good. Sort of performance music people, yes. As I mentioned, it does seem like the creator of this game, and this is his first game and everything, right? So, like, don't want to be too harsh. He is like a Broadway musician and gets into like composing and stuff. So he probably has lots of musician performers and that kind of people in his life, friends and colleagues. So obviously he would get them involved in the project. So yes, that is the end. There isn't any sort of epilogue to give us more. Yes, she wasn't as evil as Mason. She had a stopping point, right? She never outright tried to kill anyone. Yes, one of her pranks combined with another prank and someone ended up dead. And then, yeah, she like poisoned, laxatived Elena and framed her. But when Mason said, oh, and we're gonna murder the president of the board, she was like, no, that's too far, right? So to that point, yes, she had a stopping point in her crimes, but she still did evil things to people in order to get ahead, right? So staying with Mason probably wouldn't have done her any good. Like, it was probably better for her that she left. It probably saved her and got her career. It's just, yes, she wasn't quite morally right about it all. Right, so yes. And yes, the music is good and all that stuff. Obviously, I assume all original. I mean, it said that it was all original soundtrack for the game, so well made that. Now, I think most of the scenarios, I think they were good. Yes, it wasn't like mind-blowing, breaking new ground kind of thing, but they were nice, they were cool to explore, cool to solve. I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed, you know, the crazy evil schemes they were getting into. I enjoyed that. That last one, I think it missed that kind of good game design touch that would have removed some of that pain we were feeling, right? The fact that there were, so many rooms. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are 13 locations. There was no map. There was nothing to help us navigate around that to make sure we didn't miss any rooms or anything like that. So I think that could have been improved. And yes, the things I mentioned where it's like, if you missed a clickable, the top level clickable, you know, it already was red, so it was hard to say you missed a clue inside a clue. The fact that in the final chapter, and as far as I know, never before, they introduced hidden clickables, and the last 2 words, which was just red on red, that was a weird thing to do in a final chapter of the game, right? Especially with, so everywhere before the clickables were marked, and suddenly in the last chapter, which is already super busy, already has a giant map, already has 50 words, suddenly you're also hiding things from us, right? If you wanted to do this across the game, that should have been introduced so much earlier and help us establish some rules as to how we're doing this. So it was an odd choice. So yes, I think quite similarly to what happened in The Worst Day Ever, right? Because it kind of happened in The Worst Day Ever as well, where they try to finish on this bang of very complicated scenario, and it just gets too much. It just gets too much for one person to work through all of this. And like, we're here, you know, chat brain having to engage and trying to figure it out. It just becomes too overwhelming at some point. So that could have definitely been improved. But he made this game mostly by himself. It's his first game. So, you know, I don't want to be too harsh of like, this whole thing sucked and no one get this game or anything like that. I think overall it was good. And hopefully if he decides to make more games in the future, he will be able to improve on them. Because yes, I think it's a good start, right? It's a good first thing to make. So overall, I enjoyed it. And I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Like, I do enjoy this kind of stream we've been having of new games that, yes, are based on the Golden Idol ideas, because I think it definitely released kind of the creativity of people who want to tell a story, want to do like a deduction game and stuff like that, but previously maybe there wasn't a right format for them to get those things out there. But now we're seeing more and more, and yes, people are telling interesting stories, giving us interesting things to explore through this format. So I'm happy it's happening. I know there is more things like that coming out over time. Like this year, there are more games on my wishlist that are using this format, and we have played some before on streams. So I am still happy I'm getting to play all of those things. Please make more. Right? Super good. Super nice. So we did it. I actually achieved what I planned for the stream. We finished the game. It's funny to think that this and the Dark Detective are in the same genre. Yes, and I mean, and that's the thing, right? You can take this genre and you can dress it in whatever you want, and you can get a funny story, sad story, serious story, right? Like, it's a pretty broad thing you can do. Yes, so we did it. We finished, which means next week I'm gonna have to find some new game for us to play. And therefore, this is gonna be it for the stream. On the channel this week, of course, more Hamster Mind, because, oh my god, the puzzle rabbit hole in that game is crazy. So if you like Crazy Rabbit Hole and you haven't been watching Hamster Mind, definitely check that out. And also, I am starting a new game called The Rat Line, which is also like a deduction type game, but it's more like root trees when you do it on the board. So that's coming this week as well. So, you know, if you watch videos on top of live stream, you can expect that. And yes, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for chatting. Thanks for, you know, your brain assistant during this final last chapter, because it was quite a thing. And thank you for anyone who liked the stream. And I hope you have the good rest of your day, rest of your evening, whatever time it is for you. And as always, thank you to all the channel members. Actually, before I disappear, because it's almost the end of the month and I still have memberships, so if you're still here, you get to sneak a quick free membership, maybe. And yes, we do that. And then, thank you all, and bye-bye!